Gentlemen, please listen, take a heed. This is democracy manifest, that's the creed. I've done nothing wrong, can you not see? What is the charge you've laid on me? This bloke right here, he's done me wrong. Got me on the penis, stood there strong. Why did you go and do this deed? Is there a reason I need to heed? Eating a meal, a succulent feast. This is my crime, oh what a beast. Why do you charge me for what I feel? Is it wrong to enjoy a Chinese meal?
Hey, we're back.
Hello, everybody.
The first time in 6 months, I think.
Has it been 6 months?
It's been since Hogan died.
Oh, that's why Hogan killed the Succulent Chinese podcast, brother.
Hogan and Ozzy, brother.
Get your hand off of my penis, dude.
No, we went to go get sushi earlier, and there was a honey baked ham place right there, but Jen couldn't see that it said honey baked ham because of the frame of my car where it meets the windshield, and the front door was kind of right there in the way, so she couldn't see that. But she saw a sign with a pig on it that just said HBH, and she's like, "What the hell is that?" I said, "It's Hogan's steroids, human brother hormone."
Good one.
It really wasn't. But we're here and things look a little different because we are doing, as I dubbed in the backstage, the SCP Nevermore Super Show, because God damn it, probably Will and I's favorite band. Definitely his, and it goes back and forth.
What gives you that idea?
It goes back and forth between whether or not they're my favorite band or they're my second favorite band, but they're absolutely always in the conversation.
Satan or Priest?
Priest. Yeah, and Satan is right Satan there. In your top three. Those are my top three.
Okay.
So yeah, we're back because big fucking things have been happening in the Nevermore camp. Will and I got cautiously optimistic, guardedly excited about a year ago when they announced that things were happening.
So you could say that you were cautiously optimistic. I was cautiously pessimistic.
Fair, optimist or pessimist? Which am I supposed to be?
Hey.
We'll get there. So yeah, no, you're right. I was more optimistic than you were because I was looking at the Sanctuary Joseph Michael experiment in regards to them going out with Joseph Michael and it being fucking great. Joseph can hit those notes. We don't know how well he's going to be able to write with Sanctuary yet, but at least playing live is awesome.
I couldn't see Joseph with Sanctuary yet. I was supposed to see them on that Iced Earth tour to give you an idea of how long ago this was. And snow fucked it all up.
Yeah, I saw him once, and it was, I don't even remember where. I know where it was. It was at what's the name of the fucking place now? It's in Minneapolis. It's over by First Ave. Mill City Nights is the last name that it went by before it closed. But I want to say that tour was, and I may be completely getting this wrong, but I want to say it was Blind Guardian, Gravedigger, and Sanctuary, but I might be wrong on that.
It's a good lineup.
No.
Okay, fine.
No, was it Sanctuary and Demons and Wizards? No, because I didn't see Demons and Wizards there. I saw Demons and Wizards somewhere else.
That would have been a crazy lineup.
I don't remember what tour it was, but I know Sanctuary wasn't headlining. They were opening. Because I hung out with Lenny for a bit, and I talked to Joseph for a bit, and I saw Dave briefly, but they were all busy as shit, so I didn't get to really hang out with them like I normally would. Right. But Joseph, it was great. It's fan-fucking-tastic. He hits those notes. And so I had seen that, and I was cautiously optimistic about this Nevermore thing, and I I dragged you to it rather, begrudgingly, to where you were at least open to it, but you weren't. It wasn't a full-throated endorsement yet. You were like, all right, Nevermore's going to do this. It wasn't like, fuck yeah, Nevermore's coming back.
So it's so weird because since Nevermore is my favorite band of all time, and I've always said this, always, since I was fucking 14 years old, Nevermore has been my favorite band.
Traveled longer distances to see Nevermore or Nevermore-related bands like Sanctuary than any other band, correct?
I'd have
to calculate Power at least once because of Sanctuary, or was it twice?
I'd have to calculate mileage from here to Kristiansand, Norway.
Oh yeah. Well,
so I went to.
How many times did you go to Seattle for Nevermore? Was it just the once?
Now, can we factor in the Warrel Memorial where we stayed with Jim?
Sure.
Does that count?
Sure.
3.
Okay.
2006,
Norway,
2007.
Kristiansand, Norway from you is what, 6 hours?
I don't remember, dude.
I mean,
I had to fly to Oslo.
It's 8 hours.
Oslo when I took a bus to Kristiansand. So that bus by itself is 4 hours.
Well, yeah, but from here to Amsterdam, here being Twin Cities area, Midwest, from here to the Netherlands, which is right below Norway, is 8 hours. So I'm going to say to Oslo, it's somewhere between 7 and 9 hours, I would imagine. From you to Seattle, I've got to imagine is at least a 4-hour flight. I'm
doing Google Maps directions from New Jersey to Kristiansand. It's going to tell me to drive directly into the ocean.
But for all intents and purposes, you
can't seem to find a way to get there. It says
you went to Kristiansand once.
Yeah.
You went to Seattle 3 times. You went to Atlanta. What?
Atlanta
twice?
Well, Sanctuary only played there once, right?
Oh yeah, I'm getting something else mixed up that we can't talk about. Yeah. One day we can talk about it. One day there will be a book written, which it will be talked about in.
Okay, so I'll say the shows off the top of my head. I can probably do them in order, but whatever. The first time I saw Nevermore, drove 9 hours to Cleveland in 2003.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize Cleveland was that far from you. I figured maybe 5. I didn't realize.
No, like Pittsburgh's like barely 5.
Okay. Jesus.
So drove round trip to Cleveland. Asbury Park is an hour and a half. Then Philly, did Philly a couple of times,
which is for the listeners about 30 minutes,
like 15, 20.
Oh, I thought it was okay.
Now I hope you're calculating this time in your head because I'm just rattling off.
No, but based on what you've said, I'm going to say that Nevermore or related, be it Sanctuary, Warrel related events. That's your most traveled destination shows.
Most traveled, and because of Nevermore, I still hold a top 10 space on the Ultimate Metal message board top poster of all time.
When's the last time you posted on that board? 10 years?
I've been posting on there recently because there's still a few stragglers who I would rather hear from than anybody in any of the Facebook groups.
Yeah, those Facebook groups are rough, dude.
Yeah. So I don't know. Nevermore is probably the most traveled related band. You're correct.
Yes. So I had to drag you into it kicking and screaming, but once I got you there, you were at least open to it. You did fight with me for a while.
You're talking about Nevermore.
Yes. I was gonna say you did fight me for a while, saying that you could see Sanctuary doing it before Nevermore doing it. That you thought Nevermore doing it was going to be a problem, and you would be open to it just to see what happens, but you weren't excited about it at all. Whereas,
at least I knew with Sanctuary having a new vocalist irks me now more than Nevermore having a new vocalist. I know Joseph Michael is very accomplished. I'm just nervous about what the new material is going to sound like. I know Joseph Michael's abilities, so I'm hoping there's a lot of falsetto in this new one.
Well,
Kind of
there's that.
bringing back the Refuge Denied, you know.
There's that. And
why are we talking about Sanctuary?
Well, because it's all one big encompassing thing. And as you and I said before we went on, this is probably going to be the longest episode we've ever done. Yeah. And this was something to get us to jump back on here enthusiastically.
So Catherine mentioned.
And also just are you drinking anything?
Yeah.
I typically don't drink a lot anymore, but I wanted to pour myself a little bit for this.
So I started off with a Dogfish Head 61, which is, I guess, a newer thing that we couldn't find locally. We managed to find it in a grocery store in Pennsylvania.
Nice.
It's the Dogfish 60, the usual IPA, brewed with grape juice. So there's supposed to be a little twinge of grape, but honestly, it just tastes like a Dogfish 60, which I'm not going to complain about. And
fair enough. And this is a Buffalo Trace.
Oh, Buffalo Trace. It's urine. Buffalo urine. And so other than the Dogfish, that was the last Dogfish 61 we had. So I brought up a couple the last 3 bottles of this delicious homosexual beverage.
Oh no. Oh no.
Smirnoff sourced pineapple coconut. Dude.
Well, everyone, that's our show. We really appreciate you tuning in.
Dude, maybe that's why I'm displaying this Believe in Nothing single.
Nevermore, cause Will is gay.
Hey, do not besmirch the lyrics. Dude, we can't even get into this shit yet.
Oh yeah, we'll get there.
Talk about.
But no, so anyway, I was saying that
wait, hold on.
You were making a point. I'm sorry.
Let me defend my masculinity. One, I've lost all of my hair naturally. Look at this shit. Look at this. Look at where my hairlines start. Look at this. And in the back, like this is worse than Devin Townsend's strapping young lad. I
was going to say, now's the perfect time in life to grow out your hair and cosplay as Devin Townsend, pure skullet. You just got to develop a massive coke habit.
And no, I think it was acid that made Jason Newsted scared of Devin Townsend, which is why the Irate Project never really took off. Anyway, I just got to say, this doesn't even taste like alcohol. This could be one of the most dangerous beverages. Dude, it's pineapple coconut juice, and it makes you happy. more than it normally would drinking pineapple coconut juice, which is fantastic.
Anyway, make the point you were making so I can make my point.
It's delicious. That's my point.
No. Way before that. I interrupted you to ask you what we were drinking.
Oh. Yeah, we're drinking.
Okay, never mind. I'll make my point then. Joseph Michael's lyrics are fantastic with Witherfall. They're very heartfelt. They're very
hold on one second. Is the great
I told her not to bother us.
I know. I thought she wasn't, but this is important business dealings. Hold on. So is the grape one warm? She just came from the liquor store and she got more Smirnoff Source. Hold on. Let me show you. This is going to be the longest podcast we've ever done. So she just got a pedicure, and the liquor store that we go to is right next door, and it's right down the fucking street.
Don't knock your shit over.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
It's a problem.
This is gonna fall into Jim's print, and it's all gonna go to hell. But so
going to hell again.
Go work. Anyway,
this is what I'm wearing, by the way.
Nice.
You got on your Poison God Machine shirt. We're both repping the same album. We'll get there.
Yeah. I was thinking about doing the Garden of Grey shirt, but it has to be washed.
That's a great shirt.
Anyway, so Catherine came back with the hard black cherry lemonade. That's gonna be awesome.
That just scared me at hard black.
Not gonna do the thing I was gonna do. Not gonna do it.
Wouldn't be prudent.
Wouldn't be prudent. Actually, that was like if Trump was doing Dana Carvey doing Bush
Ross,
Sr.
no, yeah, Bush, not Ross.
That was weird. Anyway, Smirnoff sourced strawberry kiwi. Smirnoff.
Wait, she just came home with all of this.
Yeah, Smirnoff ice grape.
Oh,
grape. Yes.
Smirnoff grape drink.
Smirnoff ice orange cream.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, and she got more pineapple coconut. Everybody, I hope you're ready for a long evening of podcastery.
I just appreciate that when diabetes takes your feet, you won't be able to chase me when I steal that guitar.
Dude, anything to speed up this life. Blast me in the fast forward. Blast me in the ass if you got. Go on.
All right. So anyway, before we were interrupted,
we haven't even hit record yet.
Yeah, we have.
It was a joke.
Yeah. So Joseph Michael, his lyrics are very insightful and they're very heartfelt. I've often said that he's very much continuing on as a spiritual successor to Warrel regarding his lyrics and the dark nature of them. And he's a dark, troubled poet. I mean, that's the best way I can put it. And so Warrel was very much the same thing. So I actually have more faith in Sanctuary carrying on with the new material than I do Nevermore. And that's not a slight against Burzin. We just don't know his songwriting abilities yet.
I was thinking about this. The issue might be his, like, he lives in Turkey, right?
Yes.
So his grasp on like idioms and synonyms and what have yous that would make Warrel's lyrics insightful and thought-provoking. He may not get the little twists on the language that we normally would hear from Warrel. So his lyrics might be more straightforward, but I'm sure Jeff and Van will help as best as they can. I'm hoping, at least. His vocal quality, Bearzan is fucking crazy. So all of my cautious pessimism.
You and I have both said it, and it hurts us to say because Warrel was our friend. But I mean, he sounds better than Warrel did the last 12 to 15 years of his life.
Yeah. So, like, Warrel bounced around vocal quality wise. He was pretty good in 2003.
Yep.
05 was a struggle because I think he was back drinking in 05. And then when I saw them in 2010, I know this because I was on the bus until 3:00 in the morning, but Warrel made sure the bus was like dry bus. I'm not going to go into any details about what I witnessed or anything, but Warrel was taking it very seriously, at least in front of me and my ex, because he was sounding good, he was looking good, and then that was the last time I saw Nevermore. Obviously, he sounded great in Sanctuary
that last Nevermore tour, they were doing Battle Angels.
No, Taste Revenge.
Oh yeah, that's right. But still, I mean, there's such a high lyric, there are high vocals in that song, and he's not going to say, "Hey, let's go out and do this song that's of a band that a couple of us were in before that I can't do anymore."
No,
when they traditionally didn't do Sanctuary songs live.
Like, being able to say that I got to see Jeff Loomis play a Sanctuary song live is amazing.
Yeah.
Because people that know, if you're watching this podcast, listening to it, you probably know that Jeff was the last lead guitarist in Sanctuary in 91 when they broke up, and that carried...
He took Lenny's place on the tour.
Went right into Nevermore.
Yep.
Sanctuary is
Nevermore. I have that shirt, but it's out in the garage in a bin. I've got a bin of just Sanctuary shirts out there, or Sanctuary and Nevermore shirts.
I think there's some stuff in that pile that I still haven't seen you Send me this shit. I want to see it all of it.
I'm pretty sure that I took a video a while back of everything. I'll send you the video.
Yes, send me that.
But so we go on, what was it? Probably 9-10 months without really hearing much of anything. I'm on the Nevermore, a couple Facebook Nevermore groups, and all these people were in there going, "Oh, well, this is the vocal videos that I fucking submitted for my auditions." And
dude, that made me so much more nervous.
Some of you were probably going to watch this, and every single one of you sucked. I'm sorry. And this is coming from someone, I have no vocal ability whatsoever. But I'm also not trying out to replace one of the greatest vocalists of all time. There was one guy in particular, I will not name drop him, but there was one guy in particular that after Burzin was announced, like that day or the day after or something, he was someone who was very vocal in the Nevermore group about having sent in audition videos and such. And he said something to the tune of, "Oh yeah, it figures. They would go with a power metal vocalist. I guess they just don't like me because of my mustache and long hair." And I'm like, wait, he has a huge beard, mustache, and long hair. They just didn't like you because you weren't good. He wasn't terrible. He was among the better public auditions that I saw. But, on a 1 out of 10, 10 being Warrel or Burzin, and 1 being that dude that sang in that band Silencer on the Death Pierce Me album, this guy was like a 6.
I didn't think they would find somebody. I thought it was going to be terrible.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jeff has kept up his chops over the years. I mean, the band I don't want to name because I fucking hate stuff about the band. Held
Arch Enemy had Jeff in the band, and Arch Enemy having Jeff in the band without allowing him to fucking write anything is like owning a Ferrari that never leaves your garage.
They could have been amazing.
Yes,
they really could have been.
Yes. Jeff is a better guitarist and a better songwriter than Chris or Michael, or Chris and Michael put together.
Keep naming.
Yeah. No, I'll keep going. I'm just talking about people in that band. I could just keep naming people.
They aren't even in the top 6 million songwriters on the planet Earth that ever lived that could even touch like what Jeff Loomis is able to do.
They are not better than any of the guitarists that were in Nevermore with Jeff.
Yeah.
Including ones that weren't super prolific, like Attila. Fucking Attila's a great guitar player, but he's kind of the forgotten one. Everybody talks about Tim Calvert or Pat O'Brien or Christopher Broderick or fucking Curran Murphy or who am I forgetting? Steve. My God, Steve Smythe.
Personally, I feel not to cut you off about it, but with all the second guitarists that came, I'll call it pre-Dead Heart and post-Dead Heart.
Yes.
I'm not referencing anybody involved with anything pre-Dead Heart. This is all post-Dead Heart. Look, I love Chris Broderick.
100%.
Jag Panzer is amazing.
Yep.
Chris can listen to something once and he plays it perfectly. Like,
those guitar duo shred fests back and forth between he and Jeff were godlike. It was amazing.
The one that you're probably specifically referring to, it's like a close-up video, right? Yeah, that was at Jack's in West Springfield, Virginia. I was there, like 3 people to the right of the person recording that fucking video.
Well, but I saw it live.
God Machine, that show.
Yeah, I saw it live too.
Okay.
When was he in the band? He was in the band.
Well, that was 06.
Yeah. So he replaced Steve, correct?
Yes, and he was before Steve. I saw Chris with Nevermore in 2003.
Okay, so I'm trying to remember when I saw Chris. It was either on the Enemies tour, because that's the first time I saw them. I'll have a photo of that later. Or it was on the Godless Endeavor tour at the Fox Theater in Atlanta. So it was either at the Masquerade or the Fox Theater. I'd have to look up dates, which I could track down. I meant to do that before the show, and then I forgot.
Okay. And Chris was on the DVD, so that means any dates in 06.
Yep. No, Chris is definitely on the DVD / live record. But
who's playing bass on the DVD?
Jim.
Did Jim fly out for that?
I think so. What do you mean? Did Jim fly out for that?
There were dates on that show on those. There were dates that year that Jim did not play. Like he
I thought that was like 08.
No, 06. They filmed the DVD in 06.
I thought he had. Are you talking about the Crohn's flare up? Because I could have sworn that was 08.
Dude, he didn't even play the Seattle show in 06.
Okay.
Yeah, and it like he had a bunch of fill-ins. The bassist in 06 was Tim Johnston. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna look this up right now because now I'm curious.
I'm pretty sure Tim was on bass in 06. And that's why we're Facebook friends.
Metal Archives. Nevermore.
Yeah. So I'm going to apologize for both of us for how long this podcast is going to go.
Yeah, it's going to go fucking forever. And but you know what? You're the Voyager was 08, not 06. So that's why. You're the Voyager.
Oh, 07.
2008 is when the live album came out. The DVD came out.
It was
November 25th, 2008. They came out on the same day. Lineup would be Jim Shepard.
That wasn't 06? When it doesn't say when it was recorded?
Additional notes. Tracks 1 and 2. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
What?
All right. The disc will contain footage of the band's October 11th, 2006 concert at the Zeiche Club in Bochum, Germany. And then DVD 2 has stuff all over the place. So it was recorded in October of 06, but it didn't release until November of 08.
Oh, no, see, Jim's falling down. Hold on.
But no, it says on here that Jim played on it.
Okay, I figured he flew out. So,
and it's been forever since I've watched it. I've listened to it more recently, but it's been forever since I've watched it.
So the tour in 2006.
And you and I are both in that DVD.
Yeah. Well, so's Mike Simone. Simone, who we're gonna see in some pictures.
Yeah, this shout out was your best friend or one of your best friends who
back in high school, dude. Yeah. He
this is gonna be long as fuck, and it is our love letter to Nevermore.
Our original goal for this podcast was to we both listened. I mean, we didn't even have to re-listen because like all of these
I've listened to the entire discography twice in the last week and a half, back to back, song by song.
I've listened to Nevermore more than any other band on planet Earth.
Sure.
So I know these songs inside and out.
Yep.
So fucking I don't even remember what I was saying.
So basically the point that I was trying where we went with that was you were talking about pre-Dead Heart and post-Dead Heart guitarists.
Yeah. Okay.
We were talking about how you had them in two different echelons of guitarists, and then we got to talking about Chris Broderick and
3 hours ago
and Loomis doing the shred off.
So I love Chris Broderick, but my personal favorite post-Dead Heart guitarist was Steve. Steve brought something to the band that was so good the band themselves couldn't like not put him on a record.
Yeah.
So that's This Godless Endeavor. That's how fucking good Steve is.
He's a fucking nice guy.
Great guy.
And his work with Forbidden was fucking fantastic. Like, there's nothing bad that anybody can say about Steve.
I'm glad that I got to bury the hatchet with him a bunch of years ago.
Yeah.
So that's good. One of the very few people that I've ever apologized to in real life.
I got to see him and spend a few minutes with him talking at Hell's Heroes when Forbidden played 2 years ago, I believe it was. It was the same year that Liege Lord played, so maybe 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
And got to spend some time talking with him, and just a great fucking guy. As we'll discuss his contributions to This Godless Endeavor.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
And we'll get to our discussion about all that shit later.
Yeah, right now we're laying the groundwork for why we're doing this and just what this whole reunion means to us. So let me continue kind of laying that groundwork from where we were. So we finally got to the point where him and I were both cautiously optimistic as to what was going to happen, but still very reserved based on the I guess the made public auditions that my understanding is they were not supposed to be made public, and these people just got exasperated and started making their own auditions public because they were like, oh, well, by this point, if I haven't heard anything, I bet I didn't get it. Well, you didn't get it for a reason. Most of which is you suck, least of which is you can't fucking follow instructions. But
they weren't supposed to be made public. The
100%
were supposed to be private video submissions.
100%. So my buddy Milton, who is one of the co-promoters for Prog Power, has now become their tour manager. And he told me, he told me out of the blue. Yeah. He just told me out of the blue one day, I don't know, 2 months ago. He goes, hey buddy, you'll never guess what I did yesterday. And I'm like, what? And he goes, I sat in on a Nevermore rehearsal. And I was like, what?
Dude, and you didn't tell me this.
I don't tell a lot of stuff that I hear.
Bastard.
But this isn't privileged information now because it's known that he's their tour manager and such. He's been talking about it. So, but he sat in on a rehearsal, and I go, oh, okay, how was it? And he goes, dude, you're gonna fight me on this, but I forgot Warrel Dane existed when sitting there. This guy's that good, and I loved Warrel, and I know how much you loved Warrel, but you've got to give this guy a shot. And I said, all right. I hear that from Milton. That carries some weight with me because Milton was a longtime Nevermore fan. And to hear that from him, that's like saying, hey, dude, this fucking new Priest singer, forget all about Rob Halford. Hey, man, this new Maiden singer, forget all about Bruce Dickinson or Paul Di'Anno, if that's your thing. But to hear that, I'm like,
that's your thing.
Well, no, because there are a lot of people. No, I love Paul. I love that era of Maiden. But there are people that think that Paul is vastly superior to Bruce because the band changed when Bruce joined. And I understand that. I don't agree with that, but I love the Paul stuff. I just don't think it's superior to Bruce. Right. But when he said that, I was like, all right, well, you're fucking talking, you're blowing smoke up my ass. And I was like, well, when are they going to announce? He goes, any day now. They haven't told me exactly when they're going to, but literally any day it's going to be like just it got dropped out of a fucking plane. Like, boom, here it is, no warning. So I want to say it was in a week or maybe a week and a half. I wake up to news that Ola England had put out this video just out of the fucking blue of him sitting in the rehearsal space with them where they've been staying and getting to know one another and rehearsing and just ingratiating themselves towards one another. And Will and I
had no idea. We had no idea. So I couldn't get any information out of Jeff. I couldn't get any info out of Van. As far as I was concerned, was there might be.
And you were a dear friend to the band. Like I was good friends with Warrel and still good friends with Jim. I know Van. I don't know Jeff. I've talked to him a few times. Jeff's been a very nice guy to me, but I would not consider myself and Jeff to be friends.
Right.
I wouldn't necessarily consider myself and Van to be friends. We're acquaintances. I would like to be Van's friend, but I'm not someone who he knows very well. He would know who I was immediately if I shook his hand and said, hey, I'm such and such. Oh yeah, fuck. How's it going? Jeff would remember me too. I could say, hey, Jim stayed on my couch for a week during the fucking last tour, blah, blah, blah. And he'd be like, oh yeah, no, I remember that. But that's the extent of my relationship with those guys. Whereas let's just go ahead and fucking call it out. The black guitar sitting right beside you is Jeff Loomis's guitar from Dreaming Neon Black.
I like that it's taken 30. It's taken 35 minutes to reference something that should actually be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes.
This guitar should be in the fucking Rock and Roll Hall of
And you can't see it because the Will Bozarth name is in the way, but that guitar was sold to Will by Jeff.
Put me on close up.
Yeah, hold on a second. You still can't see it, but
you can see it better. You can see his signature better. It's closer. So I forget the year. I forget what year it was, but Jeff had contacted me. So all right. So I start I gotta summarize this the best I can. Like how do I get from one place to having this? Only the guitar that recorded one of the greatest heavy metal records of all time. So
And a guitar that I've mercilessly fucked with him for years, that when he croaks, it's mine.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Like I'm not actually crying. My eyes are just watering. It's fucking ridiculous. So I had started listening to Nevermore in like 2000. 2000
That's around the time I started, maybe 01.
So I missed all the tours, all the chances to see the band from 2000 to 2003.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a gap. Didn't even know at that point in my life,
because they toured with Death and they toured with Merciful Fate, like, and they toured with Iced Earth. It's like, God damn it, man!
Yeah,
I would kill to see any of those 3 shows.
They toured with Sabotage.
Yeah, fuck, I forgot about that too.
Yeah, they toured with Opeth. That was a huge thing with the Dead Heart tour. It was Nevermore Opeth co-headlining and shit, or whatever the fuck. I think Nevermore was opening for Opeth.
Yep, that sounds right. Because the first time I saw them would have been the Enemies reality tour opening for Demi Borgir. Children of Bodom was also on that show, and Evergrey may have been on that show too. Wait, oh yeah, Hypocrisy. That's right. Yeah. No, I saw Children of Bodom and Evergrey. Yeah. But you know, because I have a picture somewhere of the marquee at the Masquerade that says that.
So I joined their message board on Ultimate Metal, which is actually their second message board. Their website, nevermore.tv, had its own like standalone bullshit message board, like all the bands did back in the day. Dude, we're fucking old. Yeah. We're old now. And
back in my day, there was a Nevermore news group.
We chatted on WBS.net. Anyway, so I joined the Ultimate Metal forum and I got addicted fast, very fast. So many people were on there discussing this band who I had recently discovered, and there was so much like lore and mystery, and at the time you couldn't find any live recordings of Nevermore. It was a fucking mystery unless you were like in the like secret bootleg recording and trading groups, which I quickly became like part of. In fact, I was known as the Nevermore bootleg guy, and I ran an FTP file fucking downloading thing where people could log onto my personal computer, which I kept on all the time. They could download fucking live recordings from me. Like that, I did that. And so I was obsessed. Every chance that I could get onto a computer, I would be on Ultimate Metal before school, after school, after work. When I started working in high school, like I spent all of my time on Ultimate Metal, which is why I think I still have like 34,000 posts on Ultimate Metal, still in the top 10.
And for the Ultimate Metal old schoolers, shout out to Pancake Nipples.
Fucking Pancake Nipples. Kriglock the Furious, was it?
Yep.
I think he changed the adjective or whatever the fuck that word is. Anyway, so the first time I got to see Nevermore, like I've been telling you, I was living on this board, to the point where, so Ultimate Metal used to be run by Mark. I'm retarded. So, Ultimate Metal back in the day, like all the really good heavy metal bands would have a message board on Ultimate Metal.
Anthrax had one.
Everybody, like, that was the place to be.
Yep, and I discovered the Nevermore board on there because I was part of the Prog Power board on there.
And all the other message boards hated the Nevermore board. because we never discussed Nevermore. Never. And whenever whenever a new person would come on asking something, we would flame the shit out of them until they would quit. Like, that's just the way it operated. We were completely random. And
like Warrel would get on there and not talk about Nevermore.
Yeah, WD was his screen name.
Didn't he change it later to Sentient 6 though?
Yeah. But originally he was just WD, and it was crazy. It was crazy because at a certain point, the message board so ridiculous. At a certain point, the message board switched from being able to post as a guest to you have to be registered on Ultimate Metal, because a lot of fucking crazy weird ass people were posting in the Nevermore board because everybody else on there was fucking weird and posting crazy shit. They were like, oh, we are too. And it was like, oh, that's fucking creepy. So we were like, all right, we got to be registration only. And it was cool because up at the top you could see which Ultimate Metal registered users were currently active and browsing.
Yep.
So like I said a million times already,
you could see what thread they were browsing. Like, it got pretty deep.
Yeah. So I lived on there. So like my original screen name on my original screen name. All right. Keep in mind, this is like a 13, 14-year-old kid. My original screen name. Okay, so at the time, my favorite band was Slayer. Which, fine. If your favorite band is Slayer,
you could do worse.
Having Slayer as your favorite band is fine. I accept you. Because at one time, I was one of you. So party on, Garth.
Party on, Wayne.
Yeah, so Slayer was my favorite band. My favorite song, Dead Skin Mask. It's still my favorite Slayer song. I fucking love that song. So of course you're evil in metal, so you got to throw 3 6s in there, which I did. It was Dead 6, Skin 6, Mask 6. Perfect. 3 words. Or 3 words, 3 numbers, fit perfectly. So that was my original screen name. Eventually, I switched to Will Bozarth because I grew out of the.
He kicked anonymity in the nuts.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, this is who I am. Anyway, so the first time I saw Nevermore, my parents drove me to Cleveland. I was 14. They knew full well that some of my favorite bands were Nevermore and Candlemass, and they were both playing the first BWBK 6-pack weekend in Cleveland.
That lineup was fucking nuts, and I was so mad that I couldn't figure out a way to go.
Dude, Trouble, Wolf, Eidolon, Elegy with Patrick Rondat on guitar.
I finally got to see Elegy and Wolf.
Jag Panzer, but Patrick Rondat. When did you see Elegy?
Oh, like 2 years ago.
Oh yeah. Rondat's been out of the band for years. But anyway, they're still great. Jag Panzer played only their first 3 albums. Candlemass played an acoustic set in Alice Cooper's bar. What? He's fucking sick. I saw Tim Ripper Owens in 2003 play an acoustic set in Alice Cooper's bar for free. What? Anyway, so that's how awesome metal shows used to be. So anyway,
I saw Indiana Jones 4 with Candlemass. Ooh.
On the day of my 21st birthday, which my first legal drink was a White Russian, shout out Jeffrey Lebowski. I saw Candlemass at BB King's Blues nightclub concert venue in New York City, May 20th, my birthday. Candlemass King of the Grey Islands tour. I was up front. Robert Lowe, a couple songs into the set, pointed down at me.
Cover of GQ magazine, by the way.
Cover.
That's an inside joke.
Dude, he's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is not about Solitude Aeternus. I think I'm going to force you to do a discography thing was Solitude Aeternis.
I'd be down for that. Joe Boo needs refill.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, that was the shirt I was wearing earlier.
I'm just right here, so keep babbling.
Yeah. Okay. I was wearing my Joe Boo shirt. Anyway, so I was up front and center for Nevermore, and I knew that when they played Sound of Silence, back in 2003, back before the Dime Bag thing went down, that whole event, Sound of Silence, the Simon and Garfunkel cover that Nevermore did on Dead Heart in a Dead World, would be their final song, and Warrel would like cause riots because he told everybody in the crowd to get on stage. People were jumping onto the stage. Oh God, what a fucking... Did you get to see them do that in person?
I don't think they did it when I saw them, because I didn't see a headlining set for Nevermore until years later. Because the Godless Endeavor and Enemies of Reality tours, they were opening. So we'd already talked about Enemies of Reality. Godless Endeavor, it was them it was Into Eternity, them, and Opeth.
Yeah, 2005. I saw them Halloween night, 2005. I was dressed as Jesus because I
saw them Halloween night here. On their last tour, and that was the night that fucking Jeff came out dressed up like a fucking giant bratwurst, and it said Shredder Wurst. And fucking Jim was dressed up like a Roman soldier. Yeah. I forget what Attila did. Warrel had on like a, the masks that Midnight would wear in Crimson Glory from time to time. Mm-hmm. He had on like a masquerade mask, and then Van was dressed up like a banana. Vanana. That's right. Banana. But yeah, that I saw them Halloween night here in 2010.
I had met up with a couple Nevermore message boarders, which I would do at I would try to get as many people to go to as many shows as I possibly could that I was at, because it was fun to fucking hang out with everybody in person after bullshitting with them online. I mean, it's the same thing now. It's fun when fucking we meet up, and whenever I meet up with somebody else, because finally we get to be retards in person. It's the name of my next band, Retards in Person. R.I.P.
Toyland.
We are R.I.P. All right.
God damn it, if you were playing live anymore, that could be Goddamn Zombies' live album.
I have ideas.
Yes.
It won't be in person, but I have some ideas. Anyway, so I was front and center for the Nevermore set, surrounded by Nevermore boarders. Lynn, Reverend Joint Smoker, was like right here or like behind me or whatever. Anyway, so Nevermore's playing. Dude, what was their first song? I think they started with Seven Tongues of God. It was either Seven Tongues of God or Narcosynthesis. My brain is shit. I'm sure setlist.fm will tell you. Anyway, the band started. Warrel came out, and he locked eyes with me. I'm like right up front. I had never communicated with anybody in the band up until this point. I was up against the barricade. First song started. Warrel came out. About halfway into whatever the first song was, he pointed directly at me.
Theater of Living Arts?
No. It would be under Cleveland Metal Fest. 2003.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought you were talking about Halloween of 2005.
No. This is the very first time I got to see them. I'm still building up to me getting this fucking guitar.
Okay. Then let's see. Do you remember vaguely when it was?
Yeah, June 22nd, 2003.
Well, ask and you shall fucking receive.
I think it was. Oh, wait, I might be wrong. No, June 22nd, 2001 was when I saw Slayer. Maybe it's July 14th, 2003. July 14th. Am I right? July 14th?
You're talking about Six Pack Weekend, right?
Yeah.
June 13th.
June.
Nevermore at the Odeon in Cleveland, Ohio. Nevermore
Right.
at BWBK Six Pack Weekend 2003.
Read that
Setlist was Enemies of Reality, Engines of Hate, Seven Tongues of God, Inside Four Walls, Ambivalent, Who Decides, Ophidian, Beyond Within, Narcosynthesis, Create the Infinite, Sound of Silence, Nomenon.
Okay, so this is before Enemies came out. So this was like the American debut of all those songs. And as far as I'm aware, one of only two live performances of Create the Infinite. So Enemies of Reality being the first song, whatever. Warrel comes out. He locks eyes with me at some point. He points directly at me. And he mouths, "I know you." I'm like, what? The Lord Jesus Christ is looking at me. He knows.
You're right, by the way, at least in terms of documented. Create the Infinite, Rock Hard Festival, and then exactly a week later at the Six Pack Weekend.
As far as I'm aware, like those are the only times that's ever been played live.
So I know you.
Yeah, he's like, "I know you," and I'm like, I look around to the other people from the Nevermore board, and they're like, "What?"
Reverse stalking, stranger danger.
Yeah. So like throughout the set, Warrel would look over and point at me and shit, and then Sound of Silence starts. Brent mentioned that Numenon was the last thing that was played, but that's a tape that was played over the PA. The last song that they physically played, Simon and Garfunkel's Sound of Silence. So Warrel says to everybody, "Get on stage." And I'm looking around, and everybody from the board's looking at me. They're like, "Well, what are you waiting for?" So I'm kind of okay. I wasn't front and center. I was more in front of Jeff because I knew what side of the stage Jeff would be on. So why wouldn't you want your face shredded off for an hour?
Right.
An hour.
You being a guitar player, have an appreciation for the finer things in life,
and that's kind of where I want to be in September, right there, if it's possible. Anyway, so Sound of Silence starts. They say, "What are you waiting for?" I say, "You're right." Next thing I know, Reverend Joint Smoker has his hands on my butt cheeks, and next thing I know, my feet are on the barricade. I'm on the metal barricade, and there's about how far would you say? 2 feet, 3 feet between the barricade and the stage usually?
3 feet's typically good because that gives the bouncers room enough to maneuver around in and your photographers. Yeah, 3 feet, maybe even 4, but yeah, typically 3.
So I'm up there, and I'm getting ready to launch myself onto the stage, which is when the security guard.
Yeah, you're basically standing on a pipe, and you're trying to maneuver yourself over a gap. Which, 3 feet doesn't sound like a lot. Yeah, if you're on the sidewalk, you can make a 3-foot stride.
Well, I'm
From
balancing
the stage. No, not so easily.
I'm balancing myself, and all the Nevermore boarders that were surrounding me are holding me so I can get a good. Dude, this is crazy to fucking talk about.
I'm your god now.
They're holding me like I'm standing. I'm like, all right, here we go. Security guard pushes me. I fall backwards. They catch me. What? See, I knew it. I knew it. So
here goes the drum head.
So fucking security guard pushes me, and whatever fucking line, dude, I gotta find my recording of this show. Since I said my parents took me, so I brought my mini disc recorder. I smuggled it in my underwear, and I had my parents hit record, and so there's an audio recording out there of this show because of me. The quality is shit, but it's out there, and I gotta find the CD or the mini disc. I know where the mini disc is. Anyway, he stops singing and goes, no, don't fuck with him. So everybody in the place is like, whoa. that guy. Don't fuck with him. So this security guard backed off. Lynn, Reverend Joint Smoker, once again grabs my ass cheeks and launches me. I'm flying in slow motion. Remember who I said I'm like positioned at?
Jeff.
So I'm flying in slow motion towards Jeff Lubis. Thankfully, Jeff isn't staring at his fretboard. He manages to move out of the way for me to land on the stage. I stand up. I look, I'm like, all right, there's Jeff. I'm currently on stage with my favorite band.
At 14.
I might have been 16.
Well, figure it out, buddy. How old are you? This was 2003. How old are you?
I was born in 87. You do the math. You're Chinese.
All right. You were born May 2087. Yes, you were 16.
Okay, fine. I'm legal in West Virginia at this point. So I land on the stage and I'm facing like the back of the stage. Like here's Van fucking going nuts. Oh my god. I turn to the right, okay? This is crazy. I don't think I've ever actually discussed this in depth with somebody.
And who's second guitar player here? Is this Steve?
This is Chris.
Oh, this is Chris still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which worked out for Chris because he got to be paid double duty because he was doing
Jack Benson.
Yep. Yeah. I look to my right. Okay. All right. Try to imagine this. Pretend you're me. Picture the back line. Like there's Jeff's guitar amps, right? And then to the right of that, there's Van going fucking crazy, right? And you know that Jeff is like right here because you almost you were almost the instrument of death for the greatest heavy metal guitar player who ever lived. You were almost a torpedo on D-Day. You were almost an airplane on 9/11.
History nerd aside, everyone, I realize the analogy of torpedo on D-Day. Not so much. We'll let it slide. Go ahead, Will.
Whatever. Anyway. Anyway, you understand where I'm getting at.
Yes.
Anyway, picture this in your virtual reality 3D helmet. You turn to the right. 6 inches in front of your face is Warrel Dane holding a microphone for you both to sing in at the
after
same
you've been invited
time.
on stage, not rushing the stage, not him trying to push you off of stage. He's invited you on stage and offered you the microphone.
On stage at one of the best heavy metal festival lineups in American history.
Yeah, because Prog Power was in his infancy at this point. It had barely started.
You're on stage. Pretend I'm Warrel Dane. People looking at the screen, not the listeners, the people at the screen. So I'm Warrel Dane and you're me. You turn, this is what you see. So we're both singing Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel.
Uh-oh.
Did it freeze?
Right. Yeah, it did. Are we back?
What's the last thing you heard?
You're both singing Simon and Garfunkel.
Okay, we're both singing Simon and Garfunkel's Sound of Silence into the microphone. He goes off, does whatever, interacts with other people. Song ends. Warrel comes over to me when the song ends. The band's done. Numenon is playing over the fucking PA. He says, "You're Will from our message board, right?" I say, "Yeah." He says, "Come on backstage." Whoa. So I follow
About this
Warrel.
time, his parents are making wanted posters looking for their son.
No, they saw all of this going down. They're like, okay. Okay. So I follow Warrel Dane into the green room. There's a couple members of Candlemass.
No big deal.
There's just people hanging out. A dead guy may have offered a 16-year-old a beer. I said no, like a fucking 16-year-old idiot. Anyway, one of life's biggest regrets. So I say no. He says that's cool. So we talk a little bit about who the fuck knows. He asks, like, I was smart. I had disposable camera in my pocket. So
And you were happy to see him.
Yeah. So I pulled the camera out of my pocket. This is all going to go out of order. You know what? Now in my story might be a good time to switch over to my screen. Okay. So this was right before Prague Power. We were seeing Sanctuary, which I think that was the first American live appearance by Sanctuary. Like they might have done a warm up show in Seattle, but as far as I know, like this was the first like out of Seattle home turf show in Sanctuary. So Warrel posted that just to further prove that like I was friends with this guy. Like he would send me shit. That's as far as I'll go. He would send me shit.
No,
Anyway.
they did 4 shows before that.
Oh, okay.
They did and this is 2011. They did El Corazon in January. They did 70,000 tons of metal in Jesus, 70,000 tons of metal has been going on since 2011. 70,000 tons of metal again. So both a couple days apart on the same boat.
Those don't count.
And then Studio 7 a few days before Prague Power. And then Prague Power on September 16th.
Yeah. So outside of International Waters, which is the sister of John Waters, this is not a twist top. I made it one. So blah blah blah. Okay, so he sent me that. Anyway, next picture. Here is me and Warrel and some guy backstage at the Odeon.
I thought it was Messiah for a second.
No. So there's me and Warrel backstage, like mere minutes after like meeting this. Not just meeting, like your first meeting with somebody you idolize is you singing a duet with him. What the fuck? What the fuck kind of life do I live? Like, whoa. So that's here. And the person taking the picture is Candlemass's drummer.
Fuck yeah.
So keep that screen up. Keep it up.
Yep.
So this next picture. So after this, we went back to the hotel. We were staying at the same hotel as the bands. And my parents ordered them a bunch of pizza, and the after party was awesome. So I wandered to the after party, and like there's Nevermore. Like fucking Jim and Jeff were playing pool, or no, actually I think it was just Jim playing pool. I might have a picture of Jim playing pool at my dad's. Well, the picture's at my dad's house. Jim wasn't playing anyway. So anyway, I saw Warrel. Hold on. Saw Warrel. Oh yeah, this thing. So we started talking to Warrel, and so you'll see it's a high 8. You'll see it's a high 8 videotape. I have video of all of this.
Is that a Strapping Young Lad shirt?
No, I got it on the boardwalk. It says "fuck you, you fucking fuck."
That's why I thought it was a Strapping Young Lad shirt, because that is a Strapping Young Lad lyric.
Well,
but that's from later on. That's on the New Black.
Yeah. This was 03. New Black was 06, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So anyway, I gotta find a better way to digitize it. Anyway, oh, and there's a world class guitar wizard.
Mr. Willie G.
Willie G.
Willie G rules. I first met him when he was tour managing God Forbid.
Dude, Willie is so cool.
Yeah, Willie's the man.
Anyway, so there I was talking with Warrel. Now, one of my best friends, Mr. Michael Francis Dodora, out of Bridesburg in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He was also at this festival, but I didn't really meet him until 2009. So a good.
But I'm sure you heard him that night.
Well, not just that, but imagine my surprise in watching the video footage that was taken at this after party.
Look at Warrel in the background, just like, what the fuck?
Like, look at this shit. Imagine my surprise.
Have you ever showed him that?
Yeah. I wouldn't have met this guy for another, 9 years? No, 6 years.
6 years.
6 years. Yeah, another 6 years. And here he is being himself in my video camera. That shit's crazy. So anyway, I think you can switch off of the pictures there now.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So that shit's crazy. So obviously the band knew who I was. And I think it was God, I forget when I got the message from Jeff. He sent me a message. I think it was on Ultimate Metal. His screen name there was JL, just like Warrel's WD. And he asked if I was interested or had the means to purchase the guitar, the extra stylus. He had, I think, 2 or maybe 3 made. I think it's 2. The other one had the Into the Mirror Black album cover art for when he was in Sanctuary. So the only 2 that I'm aware of is the Mirror Black guitar and this one that he used to record my favorite heavy metal album of all time, spoiler alert, Dreaming Neon Black.
Now, as an aside, do you know what happened to the Mirror Black? Or
I do.
Mirror Black.
I do. Kind of. At least as of a couple years ago. A couple years ago, Jeff sent me a message asking if I would be interested in having this guitar's sibling with the Mirror Black stuff. And at the time I couldn't. I just,
how much did you want for it, just out of curiosity?
A ridiculously small amount, like 12 or 1300 or something like that.
Sure.
And I said I couldn't. So as far as I did ask him. I asked him again a couple years ago. So it must have been much longer. I don't know. The timeline's all fucked up. But I asked him a couple years ago about the offer that he made, and he said, I might just hang on to it or whatever. He might have sold it to somebody at this point. So anyway, that's how I got that. That's fucking crazy. It showed up. He signed it in silver to Will, Jeff Loomis. If you want to see a better picture of it, just fucking send me a message or send the Succulent Chinese Podcast Facebook a message, and I'll send you all the pictures. So he sent me that.
It usually lives in a shadow box on display.
Usually, yeah. But I took it out and put it in the stand. This is the most that I've ever physically handled this guitar. So he sent it to me with a change of strings. I don't know how old these strings are. These are the original strings that I got on it from Jeff. He sent me a 2-page, like in the guitar case. He sent me the guitar, obviously signed, a battery to change for the guitar pickups, change of strings, the whammy bar, a 2-page handwritten note talking about what he's done with the guitar. It's literally right there, but it would be too much of a hassle to actually grab it. He signed the note, and he sent me a picture of him playing it on guitar, playing it on stage in Europe during the In Memory Politics of Ecstasy tour in '96. So he didn't just record with this in 98, 99. He toured with it in Europe. And I have it. In case anybody's wondering what happened to the gear on one of the greatest heavy metal albums of all time, this is mine.
And one day it'll be mine.
This is mine. This is the most I've touched this guitar ever. It's been sitting in the case. Then I got the shadow box and I got it mounted and I put it in the shadow box. But literally, I might have strummed it 4 times, 5 times, maybe. It's probably way out of tune. But here it is. I don't know what to tell you. I have if you've listened to this podcast,
and there's a decent enough chance that Willie G strung it.
No, I don't think so.
Why's that?
So the picture that Jeff sent me, he said that that's the only picture that he had of him playing this guitar. Now I'm curious. This is the first time I ever even thought of this idea. I'm gonna go back in old footage and find him playing this guitar. So that's what I'm gonna do for me. Well, fuck all of you. And I guess while I'm here, I should explain what all this other shit is.
Yeah, well, let's do our show and tell stuff now, and then we can actually get into
what we wanted to. An hour 13 into the podcast.
Yep.
We didn't even get to the main point of it. Obviously, I went to Warrel's memorial at Studio 7.
As did I, which right here. And in fact, I will I'll just bring it up now. There is us.
Oh yeah, that's one of the pictures I was going to post or bring up.
Yeah, we're going to ignore that one.
There's another one that I'll ignore, but
yeah,
I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
Actually, let me count the ones I want to ignore. It is a fun game. Yep. No problem there. No. Kevin's cool. She's all right. Nope.
Yeah, anyway. I met up with Deadline a couple years ago at a show here.
Karen's cool.
Yeah, she was just here on a whim, and she didn't really remember me. But then when I'd mentioned that I was at the memorial and had mentioned about being on the message board and stuff, she was like, "Oh yeah, no, I remember you." And she could have just been being nice. I'm not sure. I'm terrible with meeting people sometimes too. And obviously we're both still in fairly regular contact with Kara. Kara rules.
Yeah, fuck me. Kara rules. Kara's great. You'll see her in a couple of my pictures.
Yep.
Yeah, that's that group.
Yep. But yeah, so we got to go out. I gave a very drunken, emotional speech on stage that was videotaped. So the whole memorial was videotaped, and yeah, I gave a really drunk speech that I meant everything I said, but I was pretty drunk. I was pretty fucked up that weekend.
Yeah, so when I was up there, so that was the first time that I got to have edibles. I figured I need to go to the weed store because at the time, Seattle and Colorado, I think, were the only places that had legal weed. And went there, got some cookie dough bites, ate one of those, and like for the next 2.5, 3 hours, I couldn't feel my legs. Where'd my legs go?
I'm looking at that picture now. It's cracking me up because you're wearing the exact same shirt now as you were in that.
Of course, dude. So the first Seattle show.
Oh shit! I'm wearing the same shirt too. I'm wearing the. That's hilarious.
Perfect. The first time I saw them in Seattle, I was wearing an original Refuge Denied shirt. So Warrel was like, "Nice fucking shirt." Yeah. So also this pink thing, like there were streamers on the tables during the memorial, so I figured I'd want to grab one of those too, just because.
Yeah.
And above that, I'm not going to say anything about it yet. We're going to wait for the album. So there was a limited edition CD single for Believe in Nothing that had All the Cowards Hide, Love Bites, and a couple other tracks on there.
I gotta look through my stuff. I may have one of those too.
I think it's limited to 5,000.
Yeah, I want to say I have one of those, but I could be wrong.
So that's signed by like the four main dudes. The dudes, you know, like
the core four is what I've always called them.
The core four, not to discredit any of the excellent guitarists and bass players who have had to fill in and take people's places. Just the fact that they're able to keep up with Jeff Loomis says everything about their abilities. So at no point will I ever throw any kind of shade for any fill-in member for any reason.
There's literally not a former member of Nevermore that I don't like.
No, it doesn't. Like it can't happen.
Yeah,
they have to be great, and they had to be at least cool enough to deal with Warrel's weirdness and Jeff's niceness. Like Jeff's one of the nicest dudes in the world. Like you had to be cool.
Yeah,
it would be impossible to like them. It would be impossible to not like them.
Yeah.
Here is a Dreaming Neon Black cassette tape, printed in Poland.
I have a Polish fan club shirt.
Ooh,
it's a bootleg, but I have it. Yeah,
it would have to be. I don't think Nevermore would be releasing fan club t-shirts.
Correct. It was a shirt that was made. There was a DIY Polish fan club, and Jim or Warrel had gotten a shirt, and I now have it.
Nice. So in case anybody in the Polish Nevermore fan club was wondering where merchandise went, there's a shirt currently in the Minneapolis area. This here is a poster print of a painting done by Mr. Jim Shepard, original bassist of Nevermore, and hell of a fucking nice dude.
Here's
Jim
my actual canvas.
Oh, you have a real one?
Yeah.
Nice. That's fucking cool.
Yeah, it was the Paint Your Demon. This is the first one that he did, I believe.
Wow. That's awesome. What is this? What does the signature look like?
It says
it have like the DHB in it.
It's his name. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, it's his name. DHB 2020.
Dead Heart Breaks.
Yeah,
is what he started throwing in the middle of his signature. Yeah, I got one of them. Behind me here is
I have those prints too, but that's the one that I display.
Again, Jim's such a great fucking dude. I hope to see him at some point.
I'm going to potentially go visit he and Priscilla in Alaska next year.
Yeah, I got the invite, and you know what?
Let's see if we can make that work.
We'll have to see. That would be interesting.
It would be cool to see him at the same time without it being at Warrel's funeral.
Yeah. Dude, the fact that he let us stay, like it's no secret. Warrel and Jim, they were roommates for many years, and yes, they had girlfriends, and Jim's currently married to a lady, so shut the fuck up about it.
Jim said that Warrel was his soulmate in every respect. Like they were the best of friends.
Yeah,
they were roommates. They were co-workers. They owned a restaurant together.
They did.
They were the best of friends that you could possibly ever imagine. And when Warrel died, a big part of Jim died with him.
So again, this is delaying getting to the rankings, but I don't think I ever asked you, how did it work out that we got to stay there? That was all you.
Yes. I told Jim, or maybe Jim asked. Maybe Jim asked if I wanted to come out. I don't recall the exact circumstances of it, but he said, by all means, we've got the big house. That was his mom's place, because she owned several properties and such, and so they were living there. And he said, yeah, please, by all means, come stay with me. And then I'd mentioned that you were coming out, and he said, well, fuck, there's plenty of room. Let them stay here too. So yeah, we wound up staying the weekend at Jim and Warrel's place, which was very surreal, being in Warrel's home,
like
being there for his funeral. Like that was that was an emotional weekend.
Yeah, and like thinking back at it, like now I'm actually getting teary about it, because it's exactly like, I'm not like blowing it out of proportion or anything, but for somebody like me, that was like staying at Graceland during Elvis's funeral.
And one cool thing, you remember when he was kind of taking us on the tour of the house, and we were down in the basement, and he was showing us kind of like the closet that Warrel would kind of demo stuff in and such.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't padded or anything like that. Like it didn't have sound dampening or anything in there, but it was just a place where Warrel would kind of work out stuff and such. And you remember the map on the wall? And he said that when Warrel was writing Dreaming Neon Black, he had that dream that she had drowned. And he was like, she's there. And he pointed it to a fucking body of water in Texas. Granted, that wound up not being what happened. And I,
you can
he was not alive when it came out what happened to them, correct? He had already passed, I believe. Or maybe he did know before he passed, but
he
for those of you that don't know,
he knew.
Okay. For those of you that don't know, Dreaming Neon Black was a concept album written about a former girlfriend of his that he had these vivid visions that she had been abducted and killed.
Was her name Patricia? Like Patricia's ringing a bell.
I don't recall. But he had these vivid dreams about her dying, basically as a result of being not abducted, but brainwashed into this cult. Yeah. And he had it in his mind that she had died and she had drowned and she was underwater. And that was where a lot of the lyrics came from.
Dude, it's what Dreaming Neon Black is about. It's crazy.
Yes. And you know, come to find out, her and her husband were killed by the quote unquote truck stop killer, a serial killer out of California. I believe he killed them in Georgia. But I may be wrong on that. I've got to look that up. I was looking it up a few days ago and I forgot.
For some reason, I'm thinking Utah.
Maybe it was, but they had died by his hand. But Warrel was having these super vivid dreams because obviously at the time of him writing the record, he did not know what had happened because it was not known yet.
Robert Ben Rhodes.
Yep, that's the name. But yeah, he had it in his head.
Patricia Candace Walsh, her and her 26-year-old husband Douglas, both from Seattle. The remains were discovered in 1990 in Texas, and he was identified in 92. He confessed.
So it was Texas.
Dude, this guy killed so many people.
So did Warrel know at the time of writing the album then? And then he was just going back based on the dreams that he had before he knew? Because I talked to Warrel about the album, and we'll get into this more when we get to the album because I have a lot I want to say about it. But I talked to Warrel about the album very limitedly. Like I told him what it did for me, but he and I never talked about the subject matter because I didn't know how to approach it with him. And I didn't know if he would close off because Warrel was really weird. I considered Warrel a good friend, but there were times where something would come up and Warrel would completely close off. And then there were other times he was the most outgoing, talkative person you could possibly imagine. So all of the conversations that I had about the album were with Jim after Warrel died.
I never tried at all. It seemed like a thing where I just couldn't do. I could not ask him about it. I couldn't. Like Again, we'll get into it when we get to the album, but the song.
Like, I'm not going to take it down, but this is Warrel's personal copy of the record. I got this. Will and I saw it in their home when we were there for the funeral, and my eyes lit up. I didn't realize that it had been pressed on vinyl because Century Media didn't press it on vinyl. Night of the Vinyl Dead did, and they did 400 copies.
And I just have to say, before we move on from the whole memorial subject, like you just brought it up slightly, so I want to throw one more thing in there. I didn't find out until maybe a year later. So my girlfriend at the time and I, who met on the board, like we were both there, and we stayed in their basement. And I didn't find out until later that that was Warrel's room.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say you didn't find out.
Hold on. I think I know what you were laughing at.
You know exactly what I'm fucking laughing at.
I'm not there yet. Not there yet. There's layers, many layers to this entire thing. So I found out later that Warrel slept in the basement.
Yeah.
So the fact that we slept in Elvis's bedroom. I got to sleep in Elvis Aaron Presley's bedroom. It's fucking crazy. And then the cat pissed all over Laura's expensive coat. Dude, I just found pictures of that cat. I don't know the cat's name.
Moira.
That was a bitch. So I don't know the cat's name. I found pictures.
Moira.
Moira?
Yes, that was the cat's name.
I think you said Laura.
No, that was Moira or Maya. It was something like that. I can't remember. Okay. I have pictures with the cat too. I know it started with an M, but I think it was Moira. I think it was Mora. Moira.
Pissed all over the
She unfortunately has passed now.
But, I figured, but
all over that fucking coat.
She had to throw it away. Yep. She had to throw that shit away, and we were in.
That was Warrel's way of saying, Will is welcome. Laura, get the fuck out.
We were in Seattle in what, January?
Yes.
Oh, that cat knew something. That cat knew something.
January 7th, so early January.
Oh my God. Oh, and that October she was gone.
This hung in their house too. Jim sent me this.
That?
It is a small cross stitch, and it says Death Star, Sweet Death Star. Because Warrel and I bonded over our love of Star Wars. Warrel was a big Star Wars guy. So yeah, this was in their home too, and Jim sent it to me.
I wonder if he made it. Like maybe he found a Death Star fucking thing. Somebody probably gave it
cross stitches or not. And just looking around earlier, I found a couple of set lists as well. One signed, one isn't. I've got Nevermore at Station 4. This would have been on the final tour. Intro, Termination, Narcosynthesis, I Voyager, Poison Throne, Moonrise, River Dragon, Emptiness Unobstructed, Born, Godless Endeavor, Heart Collector, Beyond Within, Taste Revenge, and Inside Four Walls, with a encore of Obsidian Conspiracy and Enemies of Reality.
Man, I hate that set list. Again,
that was the Halloween night. And then I've got
the fact that, hold on. I just gotta say, if not for what Beyond Within and Taste Revenge, and like I'll even
Inside Four Walls. I love that song. Godless Endeavor, fuck off.
Okay, this Godless Endeavor and the River Dragon, fine, but oh my God, dude. All right. Dude, we're at an hour and a half, and we didn't even get to it.
We're getting there. Hold on. We got to make it organic.
The other one, I'm just saying. I'm fine with it.
The other one, this was not from the first night I saw them. This would have been from the Fox Theater in Atlanta on the Opeth tour, Godless Endeavor. This is Born, Acid Words, Bittersweet Feast, River Dragon, Never Purify, Beyond Within, Godless, Final Product, and Enemies.
I'm totally fine with that set list.
And I'll never forget because I'd seen the set list before, so I knew what was coming. And Warrel, they're about to play Godless Endeavor, and Warrel starts asking the crowd, you know, so what do you want us to play next, or whatever. I forget exactly what he said. And I yelled, "This Godless Endeavor!" And he just looks at me and goes, "Way to ruin it, shithead," or something like that. I forget exactly what he said, but he called me out for saying the right name. And then they went into it, and it was fucking awesome because that is absolutely one of my favorite Nevermore songs.
Dude, I loved going to those shows so much. I mean, like, I ruined
Just because I know he won't watch this, there is a friend of mine who you know. I'm not going to say his name. Anytime that he ever saw a show where you were that involved Warrel, he hated your guts because he wanted to have the relationship with Warrel that you did.
dude.
And he had a monetary relationship with Warrel. Like, Warrel made money off of him. Without going into too much detail as to narrow it down exactly who it was. But you and Warrel were organic friends.
Dude,
And
it's not
every
it's not
time.
even my
It's just like,
fault.
God, I fucking hate that guy. Why is he always fucking yelling, screaming shit? Why is Warrel talking to him?
It's not my fault.
I
mean,
know.
it is because I'm, dude. All right. Again, like going into this whole dude. I'm gonna like cry a bunch on this fucking thing. It's like right now, it's ridiculous. Yeah. But like every show I'd go to, like I would talk to Warrel on Ultimate Metal, like private messages. We were friends on AOL Instant Messenger. His name, by the way, super obvious. Warrel Dane 666.
666. Yeah.
So look, motherfuckers. I wasn't the only one with a retarded AOL screen name. Oh my god.
I'm trying to see if I have.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he had another email that was very
it might have been at AOL.
No. He had a Gmail email. I'll say it because it's not spelled right. So I'll say it because it's not spelled right. So no one will ever send anything to it. hollowthought@gmail.com under the name Darren Stevens.
Darren Stevens.
And I have an email from Tuesday. I have an email from Tuesday, April 18th, 2017 at 2:57 p.m.
Holy shit.
This is the hit single, Very, Very Nevermore. And it was Madam Satan off of his last demo or his last album that he did. And this is right before he went to Brazil.
I forgot all about the whole Darren Stevens thing. That was his MySpace too. we were MySpace friends with Warrel Dane. He was Darren. Wow, yeah, he loved Bewitched. that was Samantha Stevens. What? Darren Stevens.
That's awesome.
Shit's Dick York and Dick Sargent, by the way. They got all the dicks in Bewitched.
So I have a very, very, very rough demo of Madam Satan, which you don't know that song because you've not been able to bring yourself to listen to that last record.
It has to happen soon.
It will happen. And I think that despite your animosity towards the situation, I think it will be cathartic for you to hear it because the last song on the album is the last song you ever hear from him. And it's Mother's the, what is Mother is the Word of God? Is that the name of it? It's something like that. Hold on. I think.
But also, that's a thing. Like, I don't want to hear the last song.
But you not wanting to hear the last song doesn't not make it the last song.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Yeah, Mother is the Word for God, and it is a 9.5 minute.
Damn.
Just opus. I mean, it's very fitting that it's his last song. It's very, 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 very good. And yeah, I enjoyed immensely. So I've shown off all my goodies. Oh, this is one of Warrel's gloves. This is one of Warrel's gloves that I got from Jim. There's a reason I'm wearing it on the podcast. He sent it to me with his Sanctuary vest, being Jim's, not Warrel's. And then
dude, Jim would
bottle of Nevermore ale that I never got to drink. I got the empty bottle, but apparently they did a limited bottling of a beer in the San Francisco or Seattle area. The beer that kicks your ass and leaves you wanting more. Nevermore ale. I am one with this beautiful disorder. Another world. Was this the transition?
When did they? I had no idea about. Like, do you know?
I know nothing about it other than Jim sent me this bottle. And he sent me that bottle. Let's see. He stayed at my house.
Can you put that closer to your camera?
Mm-hmm. He stayed at my house. I'm not going to be able to get it all on there, but I read the whole thing.
That might be like first album.
He stayed at my house. The first week of November of 2010, and I got a suitcase of stuff from him on the first Sanctuary tour because he brought it with him on the road to bring to me, and that bottle was in it. So when did we say Sanctuary played? 2011.
Yeah.
So Sanctuary played here 2012. And I would have gotten it from him in 2012. And by that point, it was pretty old from what he told me. So, yeah, I'm thinking mid to late 90s on that.
That's fucking
great. Yeah, never got to taste it. Have no idea how it was, but I've absolutely had this bottle for years now.
I just had a crazy idea.
What's that?
I don't know how many people would even care about it. What if you started like another, like kind of how you do with Satan, sort of like, but like you post all your Nevermore and Sanctuary shit, and then like if other people send you like, oh, I have this, you can also post it.
You and I could start something like that. You have just as much.
Yeah, why do you? Well, you're the one with all the shit. Like you got the cool shit. Like I got.
Oh, okay. Here. Hey, guess what? I got a suitcase full of shirts. I'll trade you for that guitar right now.
Fuck you. Look, all right, but look, I'm complimenting your collection. Like,
no, and I appreciate that, and I know what you're doing. Did you have any other photos that you wanted to share before we dived into everything? Because I do have photos I want to share before we dive in, because when we dive in, I want to stay on that subject.
Mm-hmm.
So while you're looking for stuff, I'm going to bring mine up right now.
I have mine just ready. So after you, I'll show mine.
So this is that last night. Yep. This is that last tour. This is before they changed into their Halloween stage clothes, but there's that.
Dude, that would have been a better picture.
There's Van and I, at Prague Power, the year that, Ghost Ship Octavius played.
Yep. You got him before the makeup.
Yeah. With one of my shirts that I got from Jim. This would have been Jeff and I at the 2003 Demi Borgir tour. It was raining like a motherfucker that night, and everybody was on the bus. And a guy that had evidently known Jeff going back into the Sanctuary days was there, and was going on the bus to hang out. And he saw me standing outside in the rain under the steps at the Masquerade. Have you ever been to the Masquerade in Atlanta?
No.
Okay,
the only concert venue I've ever been to was Center Stage.
Okay, it's not even there anymore. They turned it into an apartment complex, but it was where I got started going to shows. And they had this super tall staircase that it sucked, man. You had to carry all your gear up this staircase to get it upstairs. I think they had a freight elevator, but it didn't work a lot of the time. So I'm out there standing under those stairs trying to stay out of the rain. And eventually Jeff Loomis came out and he signed my stuff. And then Jim came out and he signed my stuff. This photo is what's in the DVD Year of the Voyager. And then Warrel came out.
Let's mention that because we're not ranking the Year of the Voyager thing.
Correct.
So they were putting together a thing, like everybody wanted a Nevermore live recording, and the best thing that we got up until that point was Century Media, their record label, released a 10-year anniversary DVD, which I have. It had 2 songs from each band. There was I Hate God. There was Strapping Young Lad. Like, that was the first live instance of Strapping Young Lad I had seen up until that point. Or did I see them live already? I don't remember.
I'd never got to see them live, which bums me out.
Oh, my God. They were on every tour in 2003 and 2004.
I didn't start going to shows until 2002. And
01 for me.
Yeah, I didn't start going to shows until 2002. And yeah, they weren't on any tour that I went to.
Huh.
So yeah, Will, you as well as Mike are both also in that DVD.
Yeah, my friend Mike Simone. You'll see him in my pictures. I'll talk about him for a little bit. Yes.
So they solicited fans on the Nevermore board for photos and such, and I think they kind of made a wide solicitation, but it was more focused on the Nevermore board guys because they wanted to get the guys that were the real fans that were really plugged into everything. So
absolutely.
This photo is what's in the Year of the Voyager DVD, but it's not in the LP. The LP does not have any of these photos. It's just the DVD.
I was wondering that.
I don't think the CD does either, but I don't have the CD. I just have the LP and the DVD. And then Warrel. So I'm standing outside. I've already met Jim. I've already met Jeff. I did not meet Van this night. So I'm standing outside, and I keep getting told, yeah, Warrel's not going to come out. He's not feeling well. He's not feeling well. He's not feeling well. Well, eventually, I guess somebody said, hey, this poor bastard's been standing outside in the rain for 45 minutes during Dimmu Borgir's set because he wants to meet Warrel Dane. And so Warrel came off the bus, and he's like, hey, you the guy that's been standing out here fucking wanting to talk to me? I said, very much so. He stood there, and he talked to me for at least another 20 minutes.
Of course he did.
And it was funny because Dimmu Borgir got done. And I'm sorry, before that, I mean, we talked about everything. We talked about Serpent's Night. We talked about how he used to be in a fucking King Diamond. They would do King Diamond covers in a band and all this stuff. And we talked about Sanctuary and Nevermore. And then Dimmu Borgir gets done. And all these people start coming out of fucking the masquerade. And they see Warrel Dane. And it's, oh my God, it's Warrel Dane, blah, blah, blah. Smirnoff Grape Drink. That's what I said. So it's funny because they all start coming up to us, crowding around us, trying to talk. And Warrel goes, no, he stood out here in the rain to talk to me during the set. The rest of you can fuck off. And proceeded to talk to me for a few more minutes. And then, he was like, all right, well, I'm going to talk to these other people now. I was like, no, dude, you gave me way more time than I imagined. Thank you so much. Right. So then this is the last picture I ever took with Warrel. Took this picture specifically for you. We're flipping you off in this photo.
I know.
This is Sanctuary at the Triple Rock in Minneapolis.
So I think the reason for that was I think you told that I told you to tell him to fucking play Communion. They didn't do Communion.
Joseph Michael said that they are playing Communion because they're doing all of Into the Mere Black.
Well, they fucking need to come near me because I need to hear that song live. God damn it.
But yeah, so this is the last time I ever saw Warrel outside of the Triple Rock, which is no longer there either after a Sanctuary gig. And then this is all of us at Steak and Shake after Sanctuary in Atlanta at Frog Power. And
name everybody.
Can you see my mouse on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously Jim, me, Warrel, Lance King, Nathan, Amanda. I can't tell who these people are. Richard Hoff, you. I think that's Rick Marinan, but I can't really see, but I think it is. Tyler and Kat. Yep. No, I remember them both being there. So yeah, that's Steak and Shake after, because that was always a tradition of mine, Nathan's and Amanda's, was we'd go to Steak and Shake one of the nights of Prague Power every year, which kind of stopped when Nathan became a promoter at Prog Power, and when I've kind of been on crew, we just don't have the fucking time. We're not getting done till 2 or 3 in the morning.
And I'll tell you what, there's been a lot of shit between me and Nathan over the years, but I gotta say he did a great job with everything that he did with Prog Power and his own booking stuff up in his area. So,
which he's not done for years now. I mean, he stopped doing that. That Sanctuary show was a birthday show. Like, he came out of retirement to bring them there for his birthday.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he hasn't been a regular promoter up in this area in probably 10 years.
Wow. Well, anyway, you did a great job. So, good job, Nathan.
Us at the Memorial, which we've already shown. More Steak and Shake, me and Jim. Oh, Jimmy yeah. This was the fucking weekend that Accept played, and a now confirmed pedophile friend of mine took a picture of me with Accept and lost his camera. I wonder what else was on that fucking camera. Whoa. Yeah, so my picture with Accept is gone, and so is he. I think he's still in prison. If he's not, he needs to be.
Whoa! I love that shit. It's great.
More. So me, Jeff.
Hey, look at that hairline.
Warrel and Brent.
Hey, do me a favor and zoom in on my head.
I can't zoom in any more than that.
See. All right, move your pointer to the left. To the left.
Look at that right there. There's hair.
I can grow hair at the time.
This is in the vinyl room at Center Stage where the vendors were, and it's.
Are you flipping somebody off?
That's actually Jim flipping somebody off.
Oh yeah, that makes
sense. I don't know who was taking this picture and where the original picture is. I just have this picture.
Wow. I always appreciate random people sending me shit like that. It's like, oh, that's a cool angle for a picture that I memorized.
So this is a Sanctuary photo, obviously.
Yeah, sure.
This is in Nathan's now defunct arcade. He had an arcade in North St. Paul for a little while. And we went there when they were in town and went to the arcade. So I threw it in because it was right beside one of the Nevermore photos. And then, I already posted that one. My Nevermore Politics of Ecstasy poster. It's the same poster that AJ had on his wall in The Sopranos.
Man,
it is signed by. Did you notice that?
I did. See, okay. First, I got to say, I had one of these posters. It came with the original vinyl, and I lost them both in the fire. And it kills me that I don't have them anymore.
So this one's signed by everybody but Van, and
that you got to change that in September.
Yeah, I'll get Van on it. Did Pat play on the record? I always forget.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I don't have Pat on it. I got to get Pat. I've never met Pat, so I got to get Pat on it.
I think
I'll get Van on it in September for sure.
I think right now Pat is touring with
Exorder.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
I gotta meet him too.
And then my Enemies of Reality poster. So this one's right above my head right now in my office. I just didn't want to move my camera.
Yeah.
This one is upstairs in the living room by my turntable, and it is signed by everybody but Van. I got to get Van on it. I don't know why I didn't get Van on this stuff.
But you do have an additional signature.
I have Steve.
Somebody replacing Van.
Yeah, I have Steve here. And then this is not signed.
Wait, let me just comment. So Brent is not entirely wrong for having Steve Smythe on his Enemies of Reality poster. I didn't load up the picture, so I'll just talk about it. If you want to see it, just fucking message the Facebook or something. Another thing, another artifact that I had.
One that I didn't fucking know about until today.
I don't know how you didn't know of it. I must have told you and you forgot. Or I told you when I first got it. I don't know. So Enemies of Reality, the only guitar player on the album is Jeff. Jeff's solo album with fucking Warrel on vocals. Fucking amazing. Not a spoiler. There's kind of anyway, look. We are an hour 50 into this podcast.
I give you my guarantee. In the next 10 minutes, we will start the ranking. And from there, it's probably not going to take super long.
Yeah, I can feel. I'm not even going to spend a lot of time on my photos. You're putting fucking cool shit on here. Anyway, so Steve Smythe played on the iVoyager video because Steve was in the band when they filmed the video. Makes sense. Wasn't on it. Hey, have the guy, whatever. Because there's 2 guitar players on the album. Technically, there's rhythm, there's lead, there's somebody in the video. Got to do it.
Yeah.
Inside baseball. So at some point, man, I forget what year it was. Steve messaged me. This is after I already had this fucking.
Yeah, because Jeff's like, hey, I got a guy that buys Nevermore guitars.
Hey, I know a retard with money. I know a retard whose bank account is well endowed.
It's the only part of you that is.
Hey, L'chaim. Anyway, so I was friendly with Steve.
For a while. You are again, but for a while.
Dude, I am one of the most mentally unstable people I know.
Buddy, I consider you like I have three people in this world that I consider to be brothers. You're one of them. Yes, you are the most mentally unstable male I know.
That's a whole podcast for another podcast or something. Whatever the fuck. But anyway, so Steve was Steve sent me a message because he caught wind of an idiot with money, and Steve had asked me if I wanted to purchase the guitar that he played in the iVoyager video, which is a 7-string BC Rich Warlock. And the only reason I can tell you all that information is because, yes, I have it. Why would I say no? It wasn't as much as this fucking priceless artifact of heavy metal history, but it's still a guitar played by a fucking thrash metal icon in a video that's like, it's a cool. There's disgusting worms. What more do you need than disgusting worms and a fucking shred your face off journey? But anyway, I have that guitar.
Yes.
So I can kind of build an entire Nevermore band in my collection.
Yeah,
I have some Van guitar guitar sticks, drumsticks that I have not pictured here, but
I need to get some Van sticks. I'm gonna try to get some in September. But yeah, so I have this, and then this I actually just tracked down a few weeks ago, completely unsigned as a result. This will remain unsigned. I'm not going to get this signed.
If you that's a problem I have, dude. At no point, like I had already gotten friendly with the band, so like I have autographs from them. Like
yeah, all the records behind me are fully signed, with the exception of my Dreaming Neon Black, which I will get Van and Jeff to sign that. I'll take it to Jim to get him to sign it. I won't be able to get Tim on it, and the fact that it was Warrel's counts to me as Warrel's signature.
Dude, did I even talk about what that is?
No, we'll get there in a second. Let me finish these. So
I have
this
when we get to the album.
Yeah. That's the last of the pictures that I have. So do you want me to pop your screen up now so we can show yours?
Yeah, I'll go through these. Oh, by the way, everybody, we are at 1 hour 54, and we're still not there. And you know what? I'm fine with it. I'll do this all fucking night.
All right, I'm going to pop yours up now. Okay.
All right. So the next one, me and a group of friends and never boarders and bandmates with the entire This Godless Endeavor fucking lineup. Let me.
How many times have you had that fucking red suit tailored?
Oh, that suit. Wait, hold on. I gotta.
Yeah, you're not there yet.
Yeah, that suit. Okay, so I went to a business school for my high school. All right. So people call it VOTech, where like they go vocational technical, whatever.
Yep.
They go to high school half of the day, last half of the day they go to like a vocation, like what you could become.
Yep.
I was at that all day, all year. They had business and technology, which is computers and all this shit. And I'm a fucking retarded dork, so I'm like, fucking computers, hell yeah. And there was also drama and dance, where the women and men would sometimes go, and automotive, which is where all the assholes lived. Anyway, so every Wednesday you had to wear a suit, but in the fine print, and I'm Jewish, so I love reading about fine print, because we're litigious. We're a litigious animal, and I'm a part of that gang. So Mazel Tov, Basil Tov. Enjoy your foreskin. So they didn't say it had to be business appropriate. Man, I should have loaded. I should have loaded up a regular picture. That's fine. So instead of a regular black business suit, I had a red suit, I had a blue suit, I had a green suit, and I would alternate. But my favorite one was red. And people on the fucking Nevermore board were like, dude, your fucking red suit is fucking awesome. You look like Satan.
So like, is that the same red suit that you've worn for years, or is that a different red suit?
No.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
That's why I asked how many times if you had it tailored.
I've never tailored my suits unless I get them made, for me, for my nice, fine-fitting, gentleman, ladylike.
Well, I just didn't know how difficult it was to add material to a suit.
Exactly. I gotta get myself a fucking elastic suit.
A spandex suit.
Fucking skin tight, ready for fucking black tie. I'm ready.
All right, we got 3.5 minutes. Go.
Okay. So I'm in my suit. We had to wear. I wore that every fucking week. Anyway, so me, Warrel, there's Bill, who played bass on Distorted Mind. Up there, top left, that's my friend Dan. There's Kara, there's Derek, there's my friend Mike Simone, there's Jim Shepard, Van Williams, Jeff Loomis, and motherfucking Steve Smythe, the whole goddamn band in 2003 in Philly. Okay, so here comes the next one. This right here is a group of Nevermore boarders. Don't ask me to tell you all their names because who fucking cares. But there's all of us that came to the 2000 I think it was May 7th 2006 show at Jack's at in West Springfield, Virginia. There's Warrel in the dead center. All right, this was behind the Trocadero in Philadelphia in 2010. I've definitely
seen this photo.
The last Nevermore show. So I didn't even know somebody took this picture. I'm fucking thankful they did, and it's actually my goddamn zombie. I'm not gonna call him Zombie Astral because he's other names. Anyway, so Ken took this picture. My friend Ken took this picture because I dragged everybody I possibly could to a Nevermore show that I knew that I was going to. I had to bring as many fucking fans as I could get. So there's me on the far left, which is the only time you'll ever hear that sentence. So there I am hanging out on the left. And there's Attila, there's Warrel, there's Jeff, there's Jim. I don't know where the fuck Van is. I wish he was in this picture. I'll Photoshop him in there. All right, so that was behind the Troc final Nevermore tour. Oh shit! All right, I did, dude. I love AI. I love AI for so many reasons. Okay, so Spooky Squirrel Stories. I write children's horror books who follow four squirrels who run a highly reputable marketing firm by day, then at night set out to confuse humans by rearranging their furniture and whatnot, and get into spooky situations in the process. Kind of like if you take all the main characters of Scooby-Doo and replace them with squirrels. No blood, no guts, no gore. Spooky Squirrel Stories on Amazon. Or contact me on the Spooky Squirrel Stories Facebook page. Buy some books. I'll sign it for your kids. Throw in some index cards and bookmarks and stickers and whatnot for everybody to enjoy. Anyway, at Rock and Shock in Worcester, Massachusetts, I'd like to thank you, Gina, for allowing me to not only have Spooky Squirrel Stories as a vendor, but for having Goddamn Zombie open up for Gwar. The life that I have lived is ridiculous, and somebody needs to make a documentary. Get on that. Anyway, so I was peddling Spooky Squirrel Stories right there on my fist. I am fisting Charlemagne, who was the cousin of the main squirrel in the book series Spazzles. So the year that Sanctuary was playing there, Warrel found me in the convention center in Worcester, Massachusetts, came over, checked all the shit out, came behind the table, took a picture with me and Charlemagne. And dude, people can say whatever the fuck they want about AI and using
I know where you're going with this because I see the other book that's on the table, dude, and I see that someone's not there.
Dude, I totally forgot to remove that. Anyway, that's hilarious. All right, so the next time
Warrel remark about the smell of cat piss at all.
In another 6 months, when we do another podcast, I'll show this picture again, but without those books up there. Anyway, I removed some cunt and her name from the banner, so it's just me and Warrel and Charlemagne, the real three-way. So he tracked me down, said hi, cool guy, obviously, and when Warrel died, I immediately got a tattoo. Yeah. So
this one's 2010, 2011.
Okay.
When I got this one. So it's the second tattoo I ever got.
So you got it not posthumously,
no, very much before his death. But before the band broke up. No, the band broke up.
What's the opposite of posthumous?
Previously.
You miss. That's very humus of you, Brent. Anyway, so I got that tattoo. I figured it was a better idea to show a picture of it than trying to bring my arm closer to the camera. Yep, and that was the end of my photos.
All right, so how do you want to do this? Do you want us to read off of our list? Do you want our list to alternate back and forth on the screen?
Well, the way I would like this to be handled at this current time is talk to the camera because I have to go pee.
Fair enough. All right, so I'll explain what we did. So Will and I had the idea a couple weeks ago to put together our lists of Nevermore songs per album and then the albums themselves. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the discography. We're going to rank each album where it sits in regards to, I'm sorry. We're going to rank each album song by song. So we're going to do Nevermore and we're going to say, hey, this is my favorite song, second favorite song, third favorite song, so on and so forth. Talk about each album, whatever. And then we're going to, once we're done with all of that, we're going to rank where each album is in the discography for us. Will and I agree on several things. We disagree on a few things. We both have a couple of kind of hot takes. Will's made his known more than I've made mine known because he did another podcast. Shout out to the Metal Geek podcast. They did something kind of similar to this a couple of months ago, but not nearly this in depth. They talked about just each album and where each album sat in a in relationship to one another. Whereas we're going song by song, they went album by album. We're doing both. So that's the plan that we're going to do with this. And I think that once we get going, that aspect of things will go very quickly. We just really wanted to talk about our love affair for this band, and this is our love note to this band. And uh, there's several things in my life, and even maybe my life as a whole, that would not be the same if it wasn't for this band and the people in it, and the influence that they had on so many people, myself and Will included. It really is. While they might not be my favorite band, because they do go back and forth on whether or not they are my favorite band, they are the most important band in my life. And so I was no, so I was just explaining to everyone kind of the germ of the idea that we had, and how we took each album and we're ranking each song on the record, and then at the end of everything we'll rank each record.
Okay.
So
take off my my screen.
Yeah, so personally, how I did this is, I'll just show you my screen real quick.
That's me. God
that's
damn it.
you. Oh. Oh, you know what? Because I removed mine. Hold on, share screen.
Spoiler alert for the people hitting pause.
Yeah, so this is what I did. I just did each album in order, and then I put notes beside each one, and the very first part of each note is my number of where that album is in the discography in regards to my preference.
I did exactly that.
To kind of start things out with this before we get into the first album, something I was kind of mentioning while you were gone, but I wanted to wait for you to be here. So this band is the reason that Will and I are friends.
Yeah.
100%. No question. I may had met him at some other point. Like, let's say maybe I would have met him at Prague Power when he came there for Sanctuary. Maybe I wouldn't have. I don't know.
But if we would have, it would have just been like people passing.
Yeah.
The subway. We wouldn't give a shit.
Right. But this band is the reason that I have someone who I hold in very high regard in my life, is a very, very dear friend of mine.
Yeah.
I may talk to you more than I talk to my wife.
Same.
Like I usually, if my phone buzzes, I assume it's you.
It's like, what's this retard sending me now? Somebody has to put a counter. Will said retard this amount of times.
Like, you and I have started and ended more podcasts than most people have ever done.
Well, that's kind of how I do things. I stop them, I restart them.
Yeah, I truly, you are literally, in my three best friends, I have you all on the same tier. Like, you're here. Same. And yeah, I'd do anything for you. I'd love to come out and hang out with you, but fuck, it's so fucking hard to get time away to do shit. And you live in New Jersey, I live in the Midwest, and right on the Minnesota-Wisconsin border. So it's not like I can just jump in a car and drive to you.
Take you to the bada bing.
But yeah, so I love you, brother. I'm glad we're doing this, because this is something that when you mentioned this, I was just like, you know what, man, like, this band has given us both so much. And in my case, this band's kind of given me my life.
Same.
That I feel really thankful for us to be able to give something back, even if it's something maybe they never see it. At least those who do see this will realize how just important of a band this band was at one point in time, and how I desperately hope they get back to that point again, because there are so many people that I hear these days that don't know this band. Like, I'll mention Nevermore and they're like, who's that? And I immediately will throw 3 or 4 songs at them and say, stop whatever you're doing, go listen to these songs. I would kill to be in your position right now, because I could rediscover this band all over again and know what that felt like.
That's how I found out about Nevermore. I was on IRC on some server talking on the metal channel, talking about how Slayer's my favorite band, and some guy, I wish I knew who it was. I wish I could remember his name so I could somehow track him down and thank him. But he said, dude, you know what? I'm not even going to say it, because we got a couple albums to get to until I can
Okay.
Postpone.
Well,
Rain check. I'll give you a rain check.
let's start with Nevermore. I'm going to go into my thoughts on this. So what I wrote was great album, but suffers from the production not being as crisp as some of the others. If
you went into detail.
Yeah. If Sneap were to do a remix / remaster of this album, I'd put it on par with the sound of Dead Heart in a Dead World or other albums that he'd produced, because that's Sneap's production type. I think this one may, actually, I'm not going to mention that part yet because that's going to get more into the ranking. But very excited to hopefully hear Sea of Possibilities live with Burzin, as he did great on the live audition video. So my ranking with this album is, I put God Money at number 1.
What? Well, all right. So are you so we got confused last time. Are you counting at 1 as like bottom?
No, I'm counting 1 as best.
So God Money's your favorite song on the album?
Yes.
Whoa.
I told, so this is something I was saying while you were gone, that you and I have some very different takes on some things, and you and I are in lockstep agreement on others. So,
whoa.
God Money's my favorite song on the album.
Wow.
Second, Sea of Possibilities. Third, The Hurting Words. 4, Garden of Grey. 5, CBF.
Wow.
6, Sanity Assassin. 7, Timothy Leary.
Yeah.
And 8, What Tomorrow Knows.
What?
Yes.
Okay, sir. I didn't think this was going to be a situation.
Great. We just ended a friendship live on podcast.
See, I like this. I like this because it adds more than like, here's my list and let's move on. It's like, why the fuck did you put What Tomorrow Knows? Like, how is God Money so far above? What's wrong with What Tomorrow Knows?
I hate the riff.
What?
Dun 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 dun. It bores me compared to the other songs. There's not a bad song on the album. And also, I want to amend something. The blurb that I put about it, I'm going to do that all at the very end, because there are things that I'm going to say in each one that kind of put where these albums sit for me in various in the rankings, and I don't want to do that. So we're going to wait.
Hold on. What?
Making dinner. It'll probably be ready in like a half hour, 45 minutes. You've been on there for like...
I know. I know. I know.
Yeah, I'm very aware of the riff.
I had to play it for you because you hate it. What?
I don't hate it. It's just boring to me.
Dude, I saw it live. I saw that they went from What Tomorrow Knows directly into Garden of Grey. They ended What Tomorrow Knows at the beginning. No more color, you know. But they ended it and went straight into Garden of Grey. And to this day, them starting What Tomorrow Knows might have been the heaviest thing I've ever seen live in my fucking life.
Well, that's not true.
No, I couldn't believe it. No. Him to the Morning Star.
Your pants stiffened.
No,
Sleepy Town Gorilla Museum, everyone. That'll be another band we do this with.
My pants didn't stiffen. It was the opposite. My pants were so flaccid that when Nils hit the entire building shook, and my pant legs literally went. I wouldn't classify that as heavy.
All right, so tell me what your list is, because I want to see where it is in regards to this.
All right, hold on. I should probably keep my guitar plugged in, because there might be instances where I have to make additional noises at unwilling things. Here's me playing live again. Anyway, so my list.
Yeah.
My
and
list.
again, to reiterate, while you're bringing yours up, God Money, Sea of Possibilities, The Hurting Words, Garden of Grey, CBF, Sanity Assassin, Timothy Leary, What Tomorrow Knows.
We're similar with a couple of things.
Okay.
There's a couple of things where you're going to be like, what? My number one on this album, The Hurting Words.
It's in my top 3. Love that song.
I feel like drowning. Like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
My favorite song on the fucking album. Number 2.
That song is Warrel's best vocal performance on the album by far.
Dude.
Froze up again. Damn it. I'm not froze up on my end. Come on back. There you are. All right. You froze up. Well, you froze up again. Son of a bitch. William.
Okay.
There you are. Okay.
Whoo. What's the last thing you heard?
Literally, I said that's his best vocal performance on the album, and you went to respond, and then I heard nothing.
Okay, I agree.
All of that for that.
Oh, okay. But no, like Bearzon posted a video of him singing the song, which was incredible.
Live,
but
it's gonna be insane.
I don't know if that's on the list because it's a clip from a video that he had posted a couple years ago as he was known to do, to post vocal covers of Nevermore songs.
Was that one of him sitting at his desk, or is that the vocal cover that he did in a band years ago, like 15 years ago? What was that?
He's sitting at his desk. Like,
okay.
It looks similar to the ones now, but the clip I think was from before. I don't know. I really, it wasn't
an audition video.
No, like it's just something that he posted on his own thing. So CBF is number 2.
Okay.
CBF is number 2. It used to be number 1.
Okay.
Number 3, we got Sea of Possibilities.
Okay.
Then we got, speaking of Sea of Possibilities, a bunch of years ago, a nice lady in Germany was having an eBay auction. She worked for Century Media, and she was auctioning off some Nevermore related items. So Warrel had handwritten all of the lyrics for each song on the first Nevermore album to mail to Germany, which is where Century Media, their record label, was based out of, for them to transcribe his handwritten lyrics for the booklet artwork that everybody that's watching this podcast or listening probably owns somewhere in their house, in their attic. They have the first Nevermore album. So the lyrics for Sea of Possibilities that you read in your booklet artwork was transcribed from that very piece of paper that Warrel hand wrote all of the lyrics to Sea of Possibilities, clear as day. And when I saw Sanctuary in Baltimore in 2016, something like that, I had Warrel autograph the top of that, to which he remarked, this isn't the first one of these that I've signed, meaning lyric sheets from the first album from people that bought the lyrics. That, by the way, cost me $41.
Which is insane.
$41.
Why don't you have that framed?
It is.
Oh, okay. You took it out of the frame for this.
No. The frame is actually like clipped onto a pole.
Oh, okay.
So here's a clip, and down there's a
okay.
Clip.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I see the white border around it now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you say? You said Hurting Words. Yeah. You said CBF. You said
Hurting Words. Hurting Words. CBF. Sea of Possibilities. What Tomorrow Knows.
Okay.
Love it. Then Garden of Grey, which I didn't mean to put them back to back, but that that's how they played them in Seattle, and it was awesome. So Hurting Words, CBF, Sea of Possibilities, What Tomorrow Knows, Garden of Grey, Sanity Assassin, God Money, Timothy Leary.
Yeah, so our choices there are pretty different. There's a couple that are close. Okay. Next, In Memory. Now I'm very curious to know where we're going to go for the rest of this.
Yeah.
In Memory, I've got In Memory, Matricide, Silent Hedges Double Dare, The Sorrowed Man, Optimist or Pessimist. I'm going to reserve. I'm going to change this on the fly live right now in reverse. Silent Hedges and Sorrowed Man. So
Smart man.
3 and 4 are going to switch.
Okay.
In fact, I'm going to change that while we sit here.
The stenographer is amending the official record.
Yep. Because I do believe that The Sorrowed Man is the better of the songs.
Mm-hmm. No disagreement.
All right, so to recap, In Memory, Matricide, Sorrowed Man, Silent Hedges, Double Dare, Optimist or Pessimist.
Interesting. We're kind of similar in some regards. Number one for me is Matricide. Love it. And the fact I got to see them play it live in, again, Seattle, that's the reason I had to fly to Seattle. I knew them, like Seattle and Europe always got the best set list, and I wasn't about to fly to Europe at that time.
Yeah, and my thing with In Memory and Matricide is it's 1A and 1B.
Mm-hmm.
They're both one. I just have to put one in front of the other. They're both equally good in my mind.
Sure. So number one was Matricide, then Sorrowed Man.
Okay.
Love Sorrowed Man. I'm a sucker for the whatchamacallits, the who's he what's it's.
The covers?
No, that's not a cover.
Oh, I thought you were about to talk about something.
No, I'm trying to remember the word for that. It doesn't fucking matter. So anyway, Matricide, Sorrowed Man, ballads.
Oh, okay.
Ballad is what I was going for. Which it's an allusion into the future for the Nevermore albums. At least some of the, you'll find out. Matricide, Sorrowed Man, In Memory, Silent Hedges, Double Dare, and my least favorite song in Memory, Optimist or Pessimist. Now you just have to. I have to. Again, I will reference something I said earlier in the podcast where I classify Nevermore as pre-Dead Heart and post-Dead Heart. Mainly because...
And that's qualified with the addition of a string. I mean, it's not just like, oh, I like this era of the band more. It's like, no, it's a very distinct change of sound.
It's not the change of sound. It feels different. But I'm not going to do it yet. I'm not going to do it yet.
Well, it is a change of sound too, because that's when Sneap took over. And Sneap's production is way different. And yeah, they went to Kelly Gray for some reason and then back to Sneap. But
hey, we'll get to it. We'll get.
Oh no, I'm not talking about our opinions on something. That's factually true.
I'm just saying in terms of a timeline. Right now we are in 1996.
Yep.
Nevermore released their debut album, which, by the way, I was informed by multiple parties that.
And to be clear, that was 1995. We're talking about In Memory in 1996, so no one fucking
right.
Will knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. I'm just saying the timeline of where we are at in our rankings is 96. But back to Nevermore in 95. I really, a couple people have told me this, and I don't know if my facts are completely straight because who knows. But I was told by several people that the debut Nevermore album wasn't supposed to be an album. It was a demo that they had sent to Century Media. The Century Media decided to say, hey, we're releasing this.
So you're not saying that they sent a demo and Century Media said this is good enough to be an album, re-record it. They released the demo tracks.
They released. See, that's where I'm not sure because there are
demos. I know a couple of guys we can ask in September.
Yeah. So I was under the impression. So there are demo tracks. In case anybody is wondering, I don't think we're covering any of these in these rankings.
Correct. We're not going to talk about World Unborn or fucking
Yeah.
any of the demos, which are all fine songs, but they're not included on the original versions.
Or technically we'll be ranking World Unborn, but under a different name.
Yes.
Anyway, and they do sound similar in ways. So it isn't just changing the lyrics, like you're kind of morphing. Anyway, we're not there yet. We're not there yet, Brent. How dare you? Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. But anyway,
you were mentioning how Century Media released what was probably demos as an album.
Because half of the Nevermore debut, it isn't Van on drums, it's Mark Arrington.
Correct.
Mark Arrington.
Which is hilarious because wasn't there also a Mark Arrington that played drums for Metal Church, but they're different people?
I don't know.
I think that's the case.
Okay.
But anyway. I will say, like, and we'll talk about this more when we go to actually rank the albums themselves, but In Memory is one of the greatest EPs of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, it is fan-fucking-tastic. I put it up there with Queen of the Reich, the Queensryche EP, rather. What other really, really, really great EPs are out there? There's so many. Well, I'm kind of talking about EPs and 7-inch singles.
I'm gonna say it. That John Arch, was it called Restless? What the fuck was it he did with Mike Portnoy?
I don't know.
It was 2 tracks.
Okay. Yeah, but that's more a 7-inch or a single. I don't consider that an EP. An EP I consider to be 3 to 5 songs.
But the length of both of the songs put together could be like 5 or 6 songs.
Fair point. There's something to be said for that. But yeah, so In Memory is one of the greatest fucking EPs ever released.
And to go from the sound of the first album, which as far as I'm aware is supposed to be demos, directly into In Memory, it's like that's the first shift. So I was alluding to the shift in the feeling of the band from 6-string to 7-string with Dead Heart, which we'll get more into in a couple minutes, I assume. The shift from the Nevermore self-titled into In Memory is huge. They got so much angrier and heavier, whereas the first album could kind of, like, I could see Sanctuary doing some of them, maybe, because it is the segue between Nevermore and Sanctuary.
Yeah, I if it were the transition between the first Sanctuary album and the second Sanctuary album, no. But the transition of the second Sanctuary album into something different, yes, I can see that. It's like, you know, people want to talk about Jugulator being not a great Priest album or whatever. It really is the natural spiritual successor to Painkiller. It's just it came out a few years later, and it's
so heavy.
Yeah, but that's at a time where grunge was heavier and or not heavier, more prevalent and so on and so forth. It's like, I mean, guys, this is what should have been expected. This isn't anything that's off the wall.
There's nothing negative about Jugulator to me. In fact, I had purchased a Defend Jugulator t-shirt from the Tim Owen website.
It's one of my favorite Priest albums, and apparently that's heresy.
No, it's so good.
But to kind of quote you
about them.
Yeah, to kind of quote you, because I gave a shout out to the Metal Geeks podcast, because that's kind of what gave the idea for this, is you said on that podcast when you were talking about In Memory, you said it laid the stage for the face melter that was coming.
Dude.
Because now we're getting into, later in the year, 1996, The Politics of Ecstasy, which I consider this to be the first album Nevermore knocked on the door.
Oh, so...
In Memory, people were like, come on, we're knocking. Politics is when they said, fine, you know what? No one's opening the door. We're kicking it fucking in and we're here.
I think this is what I was trying to say when I forgot what I was saying one of the many times that I do so. The order that we put these songs in, that, at least in this stage, unless Brent is talking about What Tomorrow Knows. William Lawrence Bozarth.
Lawrence! I never knew your middle name was Lawrence.
I have never, Never. I had never ever publicly said my middle name.
Oh, fuck, that's awesome.
That's how much
I would give anything if you met Phil Leotardo, because I could be like, hey, look, Lawrence of Arabia and the Shah of Iran.
That's how much I'm willing to put my words on the line that I mean what I say in this topic. It doesn't happen often. The fact that I'm willing to reveal my middle name in public after nearly 40 years in existence on Earth. Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm Lindsay Brent Irwin. It's better than Carlton Lindsay Irwin III, which is what I was supposed to be.
Man, that first PayPal was confusing. Anyway, so...
All right, so you're putting your name on the line for what?
Look, at least on this side of the podcast screen, the one that says Will Bozarth with the dreaming neon black guitar, none of these songs pre-Dead Heart mean that I dislike any of the songs. Look, it's very difficult from the debut Nevermore album to Dreaming Neon Black to put these songs in an order that would not make me sound like I hate one or more of these songs.
Well, as I told you, when I was ranking Dreaming Neon Black, I said it's like you're making me fucking tell you what my favorite child is.
It's Sophie's Choice. When we get to a certain point and like we're right on the fucking edge of Sophie's Choice now.
Yeah.
The Sophie's Choice era of Nevermore has begun with Politics of Ecstasy and Dreaming Neon Black. Do you understand the era that we are living in right now? Like between 96, 99, that era of Nevermore is... We're talking Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets.
Yeah.
Like that's what we're talking about here when we're talking about the Politics of Ecstasy and Dreaming Neon Black.
Alice in Hell and Never Never Land.
Sure.
All right, so
I Saw the Sign in Beautiful Life, Ace of Base.
No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that here.
But anyway,
so Politics of Ecstasy, 1996. This is where Will and I might get into a fight. So I'm very curious to know where his list ranks with mine.
Really curious, yeah.
Because this album is not a perfect album, but it's in the fucking conversation.
If you listen to the full album cover to cover, some may say it's difficult to not immediately switch or halfway through a song switch, but every single song on this album and the next, if you were to listen to them independently on the playlist with other artists or whatever the fuck, it's going to be the best song on that compilation. Yep. Without a doubt. Yep. Each song on this fucking album and the next, I love them all. Anyway, I'm not going to insult any of these, but our lists are going to be interesting. I'm excited.
All right. So the first one, I'm curious to know if it's your first one as well. I think it's probably an easy choice.
I don't know.
42147.
No.
Wow. Okay. I just that
I know.
It's like it's a perfect ride through an acid trip hell.
You don't have to tell me about your look. This was already difficult. Like the first album was so easy. Like it was easy to choose. Yeah. It was easy to choose. Okay, I'm gonna change. Fucking hate God Money. I hate God Money. I hate Timothy Leary. You can switch them around. You can, I don't. Even God needs money.
Why did you just sound like you were going after them Duke boys?
Look. Okay, I like the songs on their own. Fine. But they're fucking stupid. Timothy Leary's dead. All right, fine, cool. He wasn't dead when you wrote the fucking lyrics. And why did you say Timothy Leary was dead? When the album was released, Timothy Leary was fucking alive. What the fuck? We talked about... when I say we, I'm not talking about
This is
me
like
and
that
Brent.
meme come to life where the grandpa's looking at the little kid and he's just like, "You fucking stupid surf shirt. You've never surfed in your entire fucking life, you stupid little shit."
I'm more of a fan of like Facebook Reels, Instagram short videos that are fucking crazy, and I like sending them around to fucking people. But yeah, that meme's pretty good. I like that individual image meme. We get it.
All right.
We understand.
So I would also like to throw out a question to anyone that may be listening, because I do imagine this may make some of the Nevermore rounds. But 42147.
It's amazing.
I would like to know if anybody's actually figured out what the title means. Jim is 100% certain that it's a date, but we can't figure out anything that happened of import on that date.
At no
involving
point
anything with drugs or anything related to it.
This is one of the questions that I actually asked the man that wrote the song.
Yes.
42147. He said, "I'm not telling you." He had at no point, as far as I'm aware, and when I talked to Catherine about things, like she's like, everybody's on the spectrum. Sure, I get it. I'm probably fucking every single one of them. But Catherine's like, she says, I'm train autistic. All right, fine. We like to see trains. Cool shit. But she's like, you're never more autistic. Like, I know a lot. Never
more to see a train.
What did I say about besmirching the lyrics of one of my favorite songs of all time? Spoiler alert.
All right.
Jesus. Anyway.
So if Warrel didn't tell you, I doubt he told anyone else, but if anyone has been able to figure it out, I would very much like to know.
So for years on the Nevermore forum, it was April 21st, 1947. Yeah, 42147. They're
Which
saying
you can go on Wikipedia and look up dates and see important things that happened. I've looked there. I've looked other places. I can't figure out anything important that happened on
the
that day.
popular thing to say is that's when LSD was first synthesized.
And it wasn't, as far as I've been able to find.
That's the only thing that I've ever heard in the realm of anybody guessing is something LSD related, which with Warrel, sure, Long Since Dark, the Sanctuary song, LSD, they covered White Rabbit. There's no secret, the politics of ecstasy. There's many definitions for the word ecstasy.
Yeah, LSD was first synthesized November 16th, 1938.
Right, like
it was not until 5 years later, on April 19th, 1943, that the psychedelic properties were found.
It's in the neighborhood of history for all the correct things to. So
and that was Bicycle Day, and so 4 years earlier.
Oh, dude. So I know something about Warrel's family history that isn't exactly public knowledge. I am willing to bet that it is something government scientific related.
Okay.
That's all I'm willing to say on the podcast, but what I'm just saying, nobody was able to guess. Warrel kept the secret for the meaning of the song to his grave. It's one of the songs that everybody always wanted to know about. What does a song mean? I don't know. It's something his family could have been involved with.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
So the first one, 42147. Second, Tiananmen Man. I'm a history nerd. The Tiananmen Square incident fascinates me.
Yeah. It's a great song.
The Learning.
Yeah.
Precognition, which because
it's dude, it's awesome.
It's a perfect little ditty.
Like they would need 3 or 4 guitarists to do it live. I really wish they would. I really wish Jeff during his solo touring phase would have done something with it. I'd like to see it live.
Next in line is next in line.
Okay.
This Sacrament, The Politics of
Wow.
Ecstasy, Passenger, Lost, and The Seven Tongues of God.
Wow.
And that doesn't mean in any way, shape, or form that Seven Tongues of God is a bad song. It's just the least good song on a perfect record.
That's the crazy thing about doing this with this band. Look,
and it is one of the greatest shirt designs ever. I have a Seven
God.
Tongues of God t-shirt from that tour, and it
I do somewhere in my dad's attic. like you're naming your songs in order, and I'm like, sure, yeah, that makes sense to be there. But like, there are some things that you mentioned that are completely opposite of me.
Okay,
but the fact that neither of us are talking shit on any of these songs is just a preference.
Not even a little.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I just
so what's your
Jim Shepard over here.
So what's your order?
So I mentioned this earlier on, but I stopped because we were eventually going to get to this juncture. So when I was on IRC, which, in case any of you are younger, if you're younger than bald, you won't know what I'm talking about. IRC was like one of the first social media platforms.
Hey guys, I'm older than Will, and I have a beautiful fucking head of hair. Just saying.
Hey, you might have hair, but I have the guitar that Jeff Loomis recorded Dreaming Neon Black. This is my hair, motherfucker. Well, that's a quote and a clip for the YouTube. But so anyway, where are we at?
All right, so yeah, you have not started yet.
True. Okay, so when I was on IRC, back to that, I was like, Slayer's the best, Slayer's the best. This guy who I wish I knew who it was that probably literally saved my fucking life by saying, Slayer's your favorite band? You should listen to this. My number one song on Politics of Ecstasy is This Sacrament.
Ooh, okay.
Dude, I didn't know what the fuck I was listening to. I was, what did I say? Started listening in 2000. So the only reason that Slayer was my favorite, here's a very short history of me listening to heavy metal. You gotta listen to this. So Slayer was my favorite band because I saw them open for Pantera on June 22nd, 2001 in Philadelphia. I had never heard of Slayer. Okay. So at 14, however old I was, 14 in 2001. The metal that I knew came from my mom taking me to ECW shows at the ECW arena in Philadelphia when I was like 11 to 14, 15 years old, whatever the fuck. So like I knew Man in the Box, Alice in Chains, Snap Your Finger, Snap Your Neck by Prong, Enter Sandman. So I started listening to those bands, and eventually I found Pantera through listening to fucking 94.1 in Philly, YSP, Reinventing the Steel, or was that the name of the album? Reinventing the Steel?
That was the last album they did, yes.
That came out. I heard Revolution Is My Name on the radio, and I'm like, holy fucking shit, what is this? I need whatever this is directly inserted into my veins. So I got their old live album. I forget what that was called. 101 Proof. Got that one.
Yes. Yep.
Which led me begging my parents to get floor tickets for Pantera and Slayer, Morbid Angel, Static X, and Scrape. And once we realized that the entire floor was general admission, we quickly went to the ticket office and said, hey, you got any seats up in this bitch? So we got the seats. And the reason why Dead Skin Mask was my favorite Slayer song was because everybody was like, it was a religious experience seeing that live at the time, and that made me think that Slayer's my favorite band. So anyway, Slayer's my favorite band. Here's This Sacrament. When at the time, all I knew was Metallica, Slayer, and all these fucking Alice in Chains. You hear Nevermore, your life gets flipped, turned upside down. I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there.
Tell you, oh, well,
Anyway, This Sacrament, amazing. The solo is incredible. I have yet to see this song live, and I really wish it would be in this. Whenever Jeff does like a guitar whatever it's called, when he goes to like a Guitar Center or he does the NAMM convention out in California, like he demos the solo for This Sacrament. There's videos of him doing it in like 2017 and 2019 or whatever. Just play the fucking song live with Bearzan. I really want to hear it live. And plus, it's one of my favorite Nevermore solos. So fucking play it with River Dragon. What's wrong with you? So now, we got This Sacrament out of the way. My second favorite song, solely for the middle section that Mr. Jim Shepard starts out and takes the song from a heavy, sludgy, disgusting song into a thrash masterpiece is the title track, Politics of Ecstasy. Jesus fucking Christ. They played it on they did it on the live Voyager DVD. And I was jealous. Because
just to interrupt you real quick, they did play Last Sacrament. This Sacrament, I'm sorry. A total of 55 times.
Well, according to setlist.fm. There's a lot of shit, who knows. But they've
and Warrel did it solo one time.
Yeah, they've played it while I've been an active follower of the band. And it's always been like fucking Europe or Seattle or some fucking
15 times in 99, 12 times in 97, 10 times in 2000, 5 times in 98, 3 in 2001, 2005 and 2009, and then 1 each in 96, 02, 06, and 08.
Yeah. Fucking sucks. I would love to see that song live. But anyway, so This Sacrament, Politics of Ecstasy, 42147. This is where your number one comes in. And then Lost. Who am I? Learning ways to flee. It's great. Anyway, I don't have to tell you people, if you're still 2 hours, 47 minutes, and 31 seconds into a podcast, you're just as fucking crazy as us. So we got This Sacrament, Politics of Ecstasy.
Where is Wayne, New Jersey compared to you?
Like an hour and a half.
They played it there at the Skaters World Roller Rink in December 20th of 2000. Oh
my god.
Yeah, dude, they played it there.
Dude, I could have seen them at a roller rink. Do you know how crazy that shit is? Anyway. So
where's Old Bridge, New Jersey?
That is about the same hour and a half, hour 45. The only show I ever saw there at the Birch Hill nightclub.
That's where they played October 3rd, 1999. They also played it.
I saw Arch Enemy, the band I said I wasn't going to name, Arch Enemy and God Forbid and Sworn Enemy at the at Old Bridge. May it rest in peace.
I'm going to blow your fucking mind. October 3rd, 1999, Dreaming Neon Black Tour. Beyond Within, Death of Passion, Next in Line, Battle Angels, This Sacrament, Dreaming Neon Black, Future Tense, Poison God Machine, Seven Tongues of God.
I'm going to need a minute.
That's a fucking set list, son.
I need a minute because you got to process.
Oh, Jesus fuck. It was them and God Forbid and Merciful Fate.
You got to process all of that information. It's like, God forbid, sure. It's like, at that time, it's like, why is God Forbid on there? But what the fuck? Like, that set list is a dream. That's a dream.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was not there.
No. Okay. So anyway, next.
This Sacrament, Politics of Ecstasy, 42147. Reason unknown, who the fuck knows. Lost, The Learning. I know you're like, why is The Learning smack in the middle of the album? Look, I love long songs. I like different changes and stuff, but the fucking the anger put into all of the songs leading up to that point. It's like, yeah, The Learning is the last song on the album. Fine. I don't know. It should be higher. It should be like everybody's number one, because on the Ultimate Metal message board on the Nevermore forum, there, Jesus Christ, this was like 20 years ago. There was like a battle, a ranking battle. They're trying to figure out. It's a tournament of all of the Nevermore songs, and I think at the very end, the last round, after, dude, this went on forever. It was The Learning versus No More Will. It was those two songs neck and neck. I mean, we're gonna find out who I chose, but
I think by power of deduction, we already have.
I don't know what you mean, Mr. Mathematician. So anyway, The Learning is smack in the middle.
Okay.
Then Seven Tongues of God, the Tiananmen Man, had a plan. Then Precognition, Passenger, last song, Next in Line. Next in Line. And I think my only complaint about the song is how it starts. It's like, you're going through all this. It's like, oh, fucking this segment, Seven Tongues, yeah, all this fucking. And then it's just like, it's like, come on. Come on.
All right.
I think that's my only complaint about Next in Line. And again, I got to see it live. And it was awesome live, of course, as all of these songs are, no matter how much. At some point, I'm going to start stating how much I fucking hate it. Every song we're going to mention tonight, which we're going to name all of the main albums, they're all worth seeing live. They're all great live. It doesn't matter.
All right, here we go. Dreaming Neon Black.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and get some stuff out of the way about it. Then I think people will be able to deduce where it is in the discography for me. But while I don't know if it's my favorite album ever, because Judas Priest Painkiller does exist, and that is the album that truly showed me what heavy metal could be.
Sure.
Dreaming Neon Black is the most important record of my life. And I've said this to friends and so on and so forth. I've never said this publicly. I would be dead if it was not for that album.
I'm there.
My dad killed himself in 2002, and I was not very far behind him. It broke me. Some other things happened right around in that time as well that completely crushed me and my will to live. And yeah, I was making arrangements to do something up to the point that I was literally seconds away from doing it. And this album, and I'll also give its flowers to Green Carnation as well. Both of them right there.
I was wondering if you're going to bring them up.
Yep. And I was very privileged and happy to be able to tell Warrel how much Dreaming Neon Black meant to me on a profound personal level, as well as being able to tell all the guys in Green Carnation, other than Short, who eventually one day I will be able to meet him. But
who the fuck knows, man? Who knows?
But this album means more to me than any other album on the planet. And the fact that Jim allowed me to have Warrel's copy means more than the world to me.
That's the one right up behind your right shoulder.
Yep. And it's a heavy one. It's only been over the last few years that I've been able to listen to it without crying. Literally every time, regardless of the headspace I was in. It's an album that has a profound personal impact on me. So yeah, In fact, I'm just going to read my blurb about it, just because I've already kind of let the cat out of the bag. Number one, the absolute best Nevermore album and one of the most perfect records ever produced.
Yep.
Neil Kernan produced this one, and I, for one, appreciate that the mix isn't as clean as Sneap would later take them, but I do wish it was a little less muddy. That said, with the subject matter of the album, it works. The album absolutely saved my life in the literal and figurative sense. I go back and forth on whether or not this is my favorite album of all time or if it's Judas Priest Painkiller. Regardless of what side of the fence it falls on any given day, one thing can be said for certain. It's absolutely the most important record in my life, bar none. Owning Warrel's personal copy means more than the world to me, and I really, really would like to hear this performed live, front to back, as it should be, considering the concept nature of it. Additionally, Jim's bass playing really stands out.
Amazing. Like, people talk shit about the muddiness of this album, but I'll tell you, I don't consider it muddiness. Like that, it's, look, you can phrase it however you want, but it's dirty, it's gritty. Sure, mud
it's considering
is
the concept, the concept of him believing that his, hear it told either his ex-girlfriend or ex-fiance drowned to death. Like, that's, it makes sense in that. And I don't know if that conversation was had and that's why the production is that way, or if that's just how it worked out, but it does work.
It's an attitude. Like, if Dreaming Neon Black was perfectly produced with Andy Sneap and you get all the plugins and you do this, you do that, you make sure all the frequencies are right, like maybe you shouldn't play this note, I don't think we'd have Dreaming Neon Black the way it is, because again, like,
and that's not a slight on Andy. Andy is my favorite
no,
time by
not at all,
many miles. But I
all.
don't know that this album would have shined quite as brightly as it did with Andy at the helm.
Like the muddiness of the album adds to the heavy, and you feel it. It's like, you got the acoustic passages here and there, like all throughout the fucking album, like a fucking masterpiece. But when it kicks back into the heavy shit, man, you feel it.
And you've got just the little things in it too, like Ophidian starting out how it does, and then as it's going into fucking Beyond Within, it's got the fucking EKG just deep, deep, deep.
Oh my god!
Deep, dun, 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 and it sets the stage for the emotional roller coaster that you're about to go on. That I don't understand how I can consider it a roller coaster, even though it kind of has to be, because there's no ups. It's all downs.
And it was recorded with this. This recorded that album.
And crazy. It's Warrel's finest moment in regards to really being able to connect with the person listening and saying, hey, I'm in pain. And I'm always in pain. Feel my pain with me. Share in my pain.
Not just that. I think this album is his overall greatest performance. He gets really low, deep, like vocally. He's hitting low notes that just fucking rumble you and resonate. But like you go to like Poison God Machine and All Play Dead, he's fucking sky. He's in the middle. This is his greatest lyrical and vocal performance of his career. And if you say otherwise, I don't know what you're listening to.
That's why I was kind of talking about earlier, Mother's the Word for God. There's a point in that song where he hits a really low baritone that reminds me, like, that song more than any other in his solo endeavors reminds me the most of this album.
Okay.
But so without further ado, I hate fucking doing it, but I'm going to do it anyways. And I'm really curious to know where it's going to go with you. I think we both probably agree. Number one is No More Will.
Yeah.
Number two, Poison God Machine.
Sure.
3, Deconstruction.
Sure.
4, Death of Passion.
Yeah.
5, Fault of the Flesh.
Mm-hmm.
6, Beyond Within.
Yep.
7, Lotus Eaters. 8, I Am the Dog. 9, Dreaming Neon Black. 10, All Play Dead. 11, Cenotaph. 12 Forever, and 13 Ophidian, because it's the intro. There's not much to it.
Yeah.
Where are you on that? How close are we?
We're all over the place. There's a couple that may match up. Number one, yes.
Yeah.
But like we're all over the place. We're exactly the same with Ophidian. But at no point can anybody argue the order of anybody else's list, because every song is a 10 out of 10. It's great. And the fact that you have to compare, that we had to take the pain to compare all of these songs on the perfect album, not just
this was the hardest one to rank for me by far.
Yeah.
Everything else, I did it on one pass. I may have repeated a song just to say, all right, is this one really as good as this one, or is it a little better, a little worse, or whatever? This one was the hardest one to rank by a lot. I did a lot of backing up and fast forwarding and going through songs out of order and saying, is this truly how I want this list to portray my love for this album?
Like each song outside of Ophidian and one other one that I'm going to get to, if somebody says it's their favorite Nevermore song, I'll be like, yeah, I get it. Absolutely. You know what? In this second, the fact that you said that's your favorite Nevermore song, me too, dude. Like, that's my favorite right now. I agree with you.
And No More Will is my favorite song on this album and my favorite Nevermore song.
Yeah. If somebody were to say top 5 songs of all time, it's in there. Like, I couldn't even tell you right this second what another one would be, but
because like this album, as I was saying, like the profound personal attachment that I have to it, like the reason that I credit this album and Green Carnation's Light of Day, Day of Darkness in saving my life is I can listen to these albums and I can be like rock bottom low. And the only way that I'm ever able to pick myself back up again is to force myself to be rock bottom. Yeah. This ensures I'm there. I can only go up from there. And No More Will is like just the perfect encompassing of pain in a song. I mean, at this point, he's resigned himself to the fact that she's dead and he is more than ready to join her. And he has no more will to live. Like, he does not want to go on anymore. And as he said in an interview one time, it's a super depressing album. Everybody dies.
Yeah.
Or no, I think he said it's a super upbeat album. Everybody dies.
And the fact that I was able to badger him enough to play it in 2007. Yeah, it was 2007 when I got them to play it. They played it a bunch on some European shows, and then they played it at Studio 7 when I saw them. And dude, I was on stage. Always be jealous of you sing that song live. It's crazy. They like Nevermore Border shoved me on stage. And then Jeff said into the microphone, "Hey, look, it's No More Will." That video's on YouTube, by the way. But
so that was my list. Where's yours? We know the first one.
Yep, No More Will. The Death of Passion, Beyond Within, All Play Dead, Poison God Machine, Dreaming Neon Black, Deconstruction, Lotus Eater, Cenotaph, Forever, I Am the Dog, Fault of the Flesh, Ophidian. Look, I like Fault of the Flesh, but out of all of the songs, Flesh is weak. Out of all the songs on there, that's the one that I feel is the least awesome. It's still awesome, but compared to the other awesomeness, that's that. Now that we finish that album, need another pee break. Give me 1 minute.
So yeah, that album, I would give anything to see it perform live back to back. I really truly would. It would have meant a lot more if it could have been done while Warrel was still alive. And I really don't have much faith that it'll ever happen now. But yeah, that album, the fact that I own Warrel's copy, I've teared up a lot to that record. Yeah, it's just the debt that I owe Warrel Dane in regards to that is a debt that I never got to repay, but he knew damn well that I thought that I owed it, and he insisted that I did not. Yeah, I fucking oof. It's hard talking about that, but yeah. But yeah, so that's the end of that era of the band. We go from 6 to 7. And I think this is when we're gonna start having some hard conversations. Yeah, we've we've talked about this at length, and this one's gonna be fun. Will has some very controversial takes on the next album, and there may be people that want to lynch Will over this, but we're gonna see.
Oh yeah, you're talking about that.
Yeah,
So
I was just telling, I was telling everyone that we've now come to the. I was going to say we've now come to the end of the first era of the band, and now we're moving into the 7-string era of the band.
We ended a BD. Now we're going into AD.
BC into AD.
No, before Dead Heart. BD.
Oh,
yeah. So this is no secret.
So,
The idea of doing this kind of came from doing the Metal Geeks podcast with my friend Carrie.
Yep.
I'm probably the biggest Nevermore fan that he knows. I'm probably the biggest Nevermore fan that anybody knows.
You're the biggest Nevermore fan I know.
So Carrie wanted me to have a spot on a podcast that they did about Nevermore, where we just kind of ranked the albums in order. And I kind of Dennis Leary assholed this. All right. Dennis Leary stole the idea for the asshole song from Louis C.K., who used to do a stand-up bit back in the day about people he sees as assholes, and Leary would riff on that, and then he turned it into a song and totally stole the bit from Louis C.K. Anyway,
because he's an asshole.
He's an asshole. Sometimes I steal your comedy bits.
Hey,
and then
yes,
you make me feel like
L-E, everybody.
Hey, yes. All right, so
we're going into Dead Heart.
There are 2 songs that I love. 2.
Wow.
And
that
then
many, huh?
There are 2. And then there's one that will be number 3 that it would make sense for me to put it there, because that's when you'll figure it out. Yeah. Oh, I'm being brought was that a potato? Catherine lost her voice, and it's the best thing that ever happened. So what? Wait, hold on. So hold on. What is this? Potato. It's a soup potato that I have been brought. I'm malnourished. That's a good hot. That's a hot
potato.
Hot potato. That must be where they got the name for that game.
All right. So, without further ado, because we are 3 hours and 6 minutes into this, and we're halfway through the catalog.
Dude, Catherine wants this to be done so fast, but it takes what it takes. I cannot rush. I cannot rush this.
We have rushed this show so much. This is an episode we're not going to rush.
I can't rush this because it's going on record, and it's my favorite band of all time who saved my life. Yes. I cannot rush this.
All right, so now we've hit 2000. And we've got Dead Heart and Dead World.
Yeah. Okay.
Number
so
one for me.
My number one's. Okay.
Yeah,
you go.
I'm going first. You go second.
You go. Sorry.
We Disintegrate.
Okay.
Dead Heart and a Dead World. Narcosynthesis. Inside Four Walls. Sound of Silence. Engines of Hate. River Dragon Has Come. Evolution 169, Heart Collector, Insignificant, and Will and I agree on Believe in Nothing being dog shit.
Hey!
It's not dog shit. Like, if any other band had put out Believe in Nothing, it'd be a great fucking song. But it just didn't scratch a Nevermore itch for me.
I'll tell you what. And
it was wasn't it the biggest single they ever had?
Yeah, well, maybe. I Voyager really propelled them.
Yeah, I Voyager was huge.
I just got to say, Catherine sent me a picture of the soup that she made downstairs, And if I had any sex drive whatsoever, I would fuck that soup.
All right. Well,
All right, so
talk in some dead pants.
hey, I'm fine.
Yeah.
So let's see. So Dead Heart in a Dead World. This is my second favorite Nevermore song of all time, and the fact that it's on that record is fucking crazy. It's crazy.
So that's your first is Dead Heart.
What?
That's your first favorite song on the album is Dead Heart?
No.
Oh, you just said Dead Heart in a Dead World is your second favorite Nevermore song of all time.
No. I'm just saying that the fact that this song is my favorite and it's on this album isn't good. So my second favorite Nevermore song is Heart Collector.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So in the grand scheme of things, it's No More Will, and then close second with Heart Collector.
Wow. Okay, because Heart Collector's towards the bottom of the album for me.
I know. And then number 2 for me, Insignificant.
Wow, right under. Yeah, I've got it as 1 and 2, as in fucking.
I know.
Low and lower.
I would love to see them play that live. Warrel did it. They did do it in, I think, 2000. But Warrel brought it back when he had his solo band do all of Dead Heart in a Dead World cover to cover. And he only did that in like Israel and shit over there.
Which is really funny because it was always considered the Jeff record because it was when his guitar playing like really changed.
I know. So
I would have figured that record to do as opposed to like Politics or something.
I mean, we both know which album it really would have been for a couple of reasons. But yeah, so anyway, here is the rest of my ranking for Dead Heart.
All right, so 1 is Heart Collector, 2 is Insignificant, 3
Sound of Silence, because that is when I turned right and there was a microphone in my face. That song is forever implanted as an amazing memory. So,
and it's one of the greatest covers of all time.
Oh yeah,
it comes musically in no way, shape, or form. That song, like everything is different.
It comes out from left field. It starts like, all right, this sounds like the melody from Sound of Silence, and then it goes into holy shit, what the fuck? Where the fuck did that come from? And it worked. It worked
100%.
Now I just have to say, from here on out, there are good ones, there are bad ones, there are really bad ones, and I'm going to tell you which is which. All right, so Sound of Silence, Evolution 169. Love it. It's moody, it's slow. As somebody that's both a fan of doom metal and probably has some spot on the spectrum where I enjoy things slow, and so Evolution 169 is up there. And then we got Narcosynthesis, primarily for Turn My Blood to Sand, Lives Fall Through the Hourglass and Grow Cold. That section is fucking great. That's why Narcosynthesis is as high as it is. Then we got Engines of Hate. They Still Grind. And then the only reason why this one is as high as it is because of the solo. Beyond the solo section, couldn't give less of a fuck. We got River Dragon Has Come. If
that's based on a true story too, right?
Yeah. Which fucking whatever. At this point, and after River Dragon, we got we got We Disintegrate, followed by Dead Heart in the Dead World.
Number 1.
Yeah. And then now you know what my least favorite song is. Warrel knew what my least favorite song is. He made mention of it from the stage many times. Preferably my favorite one in Seattle, which I will not say. And so my second to least favorite is Inside Four Walls. The day they took away my friend.
It's a fucking anti-government, fucking anti-drug war song. I'm all about it.
But the day they took away my friend. My friend. They took him away.
All right. We're gonna skip ahead 3 years to Enemies of Reality.
And then my least favorite song is Believe in Nothing. Get out of here.
Yeah, we know that. Skipping forward to Enemies of Reality. We're gonna go number one,
which I like much more than you do, apparently, which surprised me.
We'll get into that. Number one, I Voyager. Number two,
Okay.
Enemies of Reality. Number three, Never Purify. Number four, Seed Awakening. 5, Who Decides. 6, Tomorrow Turned Into Yesterday. 7, Ambivalent. 8, Create the Infinite. 9, Nomenon.
Wow.
I know that mine and your list varies wildly.
Wow. I mean, I'm not going to argue about it, but it's like it's always surprising to see like favorites flip flop, which shows how fucking awesome the band is.
Yeah.
The fact that our favorite songs on each album could be the least favorite on somebody else's list. It's like,
yeah, and other than number one, which we both said was Dreaming Neon Black, I don't think our list is going to be the same either, and I think it might be wildly different.
And for a certain album.
All right, so Enemies of Reality, go.
Number one, Who Decides? Dude, I fucking love it. I love it. And the fact that I got to see it live, I think twice, is amazing. I love this song. The fucking clean guitar during the fucking verse is fucking awesome. Anyway, okay, my only complaint about Who Decides that I was contemplating switching it around is that you didn't need it. You didn't need it.
I like that part.
You didn't,
and I'm not being a contrarian. Like, I like that part.
It's unnecessary. It's like, why? Why is that there? Like, otherwise,
there's questions, and it worked.
It's like there's this beautiful song there, and then you gotta like fuck it up with the like 2 pieces of bread that are like shit shaped because they're
what shit. Are you, an idiot sandwich?
I never understood it. I never got it. It didn't make sense to me, but I was happy between those 2 pieces of bread. Nah, I mean. So Who Decides? Number 2, Tomorrow Turned Into Yesterday. I mentioned earlier, I'm a sucker for the ballads.
Which is hilarious because of how much you hate Believe in Nothing.
Look, I don't know how else to describe it. Okay.
Now, why do you hate Believe in Nothing so much? Is it the song? Is it the video? Is it both?
It sounds like the radio. I don't know how else to describe it to you. It sounds like the radio, and it squeezes my spinal cord that makes me go, "This is gay." I have no other way to describe it to you. I've described it to Warrel verbatim exactly the same way. Which is why when they played it in Seattle, he said, "This is from Dead Heart and the Dead World." Is it gay, Will? Is it gay? Well, posthumously, to answer your question, which I'm pretty sure I nodded my head yes to you in person because I said it to you on AOL Instant Messenger. Yes, Believe in Nothing is fucking gay. Song sucks. It sounds like the radio.
Yeah, you're sitting there with a signed copy of the single.
Dude, All the Cowards Hide and Love Bites are on there. And the
another fucking phenomenal cover.
Dude, Love Bites is better than the original. I'm saying it. And dude, All the Cowards Hide, I don't know why it's a bonus. It was supposed to be on Dreaming Neon Black, I believe, and they carried it over to be on this single. It should have been on there. It feels production wise, bass heavy.
I disagree with you. It shouldn't have been on Dreaming Neon Black, but
should have been on there. Like around Scene
but it
of
wouldn't have
Tab and All Play
it
Dead.
It didn't play into the fucking the theme. It is a concept album that doesn't play into the concept. I mean, if you wanted to talk about, suicide being the coward's way out and him fucking taking himself out at the end and such, yeah, maybe, I guess, but the point that I was trying to make,
kidnapping. I'll sleep in this quiet room when no one sees. I'll play dead. Oh, that's All Play Dead. Jesus fucking Christ. Fuck, hold on. The wrong song was playing in my head.
The wrong song died. But Love Bites, man. Priest is my favorite band ever. I might have to agree with you. I do think it is better than the original.
Yeah,
yeah, fuck, it is. Yep, okay.
I just confused it with All Play Dead. That's crazy. But anyway.
All right, so Enemies Reality. Start over because we stopped. We got, I think you said Who Decides was the first one?
Yep. Who Decides, Tomorrow Turned Into Yesterday. Create the Infinite.
Yep.
It sounds like musically, it sounds like a sequel to Poison God Machine. They have a similar riff in there, and that really, I like that. Like there's a great riff in there. It's the main riff. Then after Create the Infinite, we got I Voyager, Enemies of Reality, Seed Awakening, Ambivalent, Never Purify, Numenon. I like it more than you do. Yeah. Overall as an album. Even the Kelly Gray mix, I was okay with. Listening to the Andy Sneap remix, it sounds kind of weird because I'm so used to the Kelly Gray version.
All right, we got two left. Fast forward into 2005. This Godless Endeavor.
This is an interesting one.
Yeah, I'm going to be very interested to see where we fall on this one. I wonder if yours and my favorite are the same. I'm going to say Godless Endeavor is my favorite.
Okay.
Followed by Sentient 6.
Sure.
A Future Uncertain.
Oh.
Born.
Okay.
My Acid Words.
Mm-hmm.
Bittersweet Feast.
Yep.
Holocaust of Thought.
Wow.
Sell My Heart for Stones. Final Product. Psalm of Lydia. Medicated Nation.
We're closer than I expected us to be.
Okay.
Yeah. So my number one is Sentient 6. And then this Godless Endeavor.
Okay. And you know what? 1A and 1B. Again.
Yeah.
They're both great.
Like when I went into it, like the first song that I thought of as my number one was Sentient 6 right away. I'm like, oh yeah, without question. Then I was like, the solo in this Godless Endeavor. I'm like, I gotta.
Let me ask you this, because I don't know if it's ever actually been said or if it's just an assumption that everyone's had. Is Sentient 6 actually a sequel to The Learning, or is it like kind of a spiritual sequel and kind of the same subject matter?
No, from what I heard from Warrel, both like online and
yeah, I never saw anything where it was set in stone like this is the sequel to this song. But I always assumed that they were.
Oh no, it's fact.
Okay.
It's fact.
All right, so we've got Sentient 6, we've got Godless Endeavor. Next,
Final Product.
Ooh,
I love Final Product.
Remind me to tell you about something regarding that when the podcast is done.
Sure. All right, so Sentient 6, This Godless Endeavor, Final Product, My Acid Words, Born, A Future Uncertain, Bittersweet Feast, Medicated Nation, Sell My Heart for Stones, Psalm of Lydia, Holocaust of Thought.
We're pretty close, but not dead on.
Than I thought. Yeah.
Yep.
We're closer than we were with fucking Dreaming Neon Black and Politics.
Well, there's that. All right. Last one. Fast forward 7 years. No, not 7 years. Why did I say Obsidian Conspiracy came out in 2012?
5 years.
No, it didn't.
It's 5. 2010.
It's 2010, right? Yeah. It must have been a typo. I know it didn't come out then because The fucking band was done by then.
Yep.
All right.
They were done in
Number 1, Obsidian Conspiracy. Number 2, Emptiness Obstructed. Number 3, And the Maiden Spoke. 4, She Comes in Colors. 5, Poison Throne. 6, The Blue Marble and the New Soul. 7, Termination Proclamation. 8, Moonrise. 9, Without Morals. And 10, The Day You Built the Wall.
Well, look. There's something I got to say. You know what my favorite album.
This is going to be the inverse. Whereas this album to me is not nearly as bad as it is to you.
Look, you know my favorite album already. I ranted and raved. I whacked off in camera in front of you for your entertainment.
He said his name was Lawrence, people.
With Dreaming Neon Black being my favorite album.
You, by definition, have to have a least favorite album.
There's gotta be, right?
Yep.
If you put everything in order, everything.
And it's not this one because you have another one that you dislike even more, right?
No. No. Absolutely wrong. That's one of the wrongest statements I've ever heard in my life.
We'll get into why you hate this album so much in a few. Go through your song list, and then we're going to start ranking the albums, and we're going to do it in reverse.
Emptiness Unobstructed, Termination Proclamation,
Ooh.
Your Poison Throne, Moonrise.
Oh.
And now we get to a point where I couldn't give less of a fuck. We got the Blue Marble. We got Without Morals, The Day You Built the Wall, She Comes in Colors, Obsidian Conspiracy, and who gives a fuck about some goddamn ghost born in 16, whatever the fuck, and the
1617.
Who gives a shit? Who gives a fucking shit?
Dude, the riff on that song rules, and the fucking riff on the Obsidian Conspiracy is fucking fantastic.
The lyrics make me want to not have ears.
Musically, this album is fantastic. Lyrically, this album is okay.
But for me, it's always been... Look, Jeff Loomis is, in my opinion, the greatest heavy metal guitarist who ever lived. He can do everything. He can do it all.
Say Jeff Waters, but hey, they're both Jeff. Jeff Loomis is in my top 3, probably.
But when you combined his playing, like, I gotta say, Jim Shepard, Van Williams, Warrel, Dane, Jeff Loomis. Like, you mix all of them together, and it's amazing. Except for the Obsidian Conspiracy. Dude, my disappointment was astronomical. And, like, yeah, I saw the tour, and it was the first Nevermore tour where I only went to one show because I knew the set list, and I was like, I only want to deal with mostly new album material once. Hung out. I took Warrel to Pat Steaks and Gino's in Philly, the 2 touristy cheesesteak places.
Remind me which one he picked.
Gino's. There are videos on my YouTube channel. Just type in Warrel Dane cheesesteak, and you'll see me taking a video back in 2010. Yep. We walked there from the tour bus. That was fun. Not a walk I really want to do.
That would have almost been the Termination Proclamation.
That would be his Emancipation Termination Proclamation.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my least favorite. What's your least favorite?
My least favorite, Enemies of Reality.
Yeah.
I put number 8. Album is not nearly as good as I remember. Kelly Gray mix is awful. Sneak comes in and saves the day with the new production, but not able to save the record. A few standout songs, but the album as a whole is my least favorite in the discography.
Okay.
My number 7 least favorite, Obsidian Conspiracy. Or my number 7 favorite. Number 7 out of 8. Let me put it that way.
I'd say you're going in reverse order. So
Yes.
it's your second to last favorite.
Yes. Apropos that the final words on the album are, "These are my last words," considering that this is the last Nevermore album while Warrel was living. Album is fairly solid, but a bit disjointed at times. I agree with Will that it doesn't seem like a collaborative effort. It seems written separately. Just barely edges out Enemies of Reality. The songs I like on here outweigh the songs that the songs that I really like on here outweigh the songs that I really like on Enemies.
Yeah, look, Nevermore broke up for a reason.
Yeah.
Right? Like, everybody had their issues going on, and they had been a band and known each other for so long, they just couldn't fucking deal with it anymore. And for me, it shows on the Obsidian Conspiracy. It feels like a bunch of riffs and solos that Jeff threw together and sent to Warrel and said, "Hey, throw some shit on this and let's release it."
Yeah.
It's like, it sucks to say, because if I feel like if Obsidian Conspiracy was labeled like Jeff Loomis and Friends or something, I'd be more willing to be like, yeah, it was fucking cool. But as a Nevermore album, it didn't feel like anybody was gelling except for Jeff and Van, which makes sense for they're the ones that reformed the band now.
Right. All right, so that was my 7 and 8. I know you said your 8 was Obsidian. What's 7?
Oh, Dead Heart.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I knew you didn't love Dead Heart, but I didn't know that it was that low on the list.
Look,
I figured it was middle of the pack.
Dude, okay, so I'll tell you my beef.
So wait, hold on. Just to make sure that I understand perfectly correctly. You like Enemies of Reality more than you like Dead Heart.
Yeah.
That's preposterous to me.
Dude,
so we've never talked about this at length.
Right.
What is it that you hate about Dead Heart so much, whereas it is so beloved by so many other fans of the band? I'm more on your end of things than saying it's this god tier record. I mean, I do own a fully signed Lilac vinyl copy that is worth hundreds of dollars.
Dude, this is a signed Believe in Nothing single. It's a CD for my fucking least favorite fucking Nevermore thing, and it's signed by them.
But what makes you hate it so much? Is it the songwriting? Is it the fact that they went to 7 strings? Is it the production? What is it? It can't just be Believe in Nothing.
I'm tired of the bong, but it's like, look, we understand you got a fucking 7 string. You don't have to go on the fucking thing. Where's the dude? Like the riffs of Politics of Ecstasy, like otherworldly. Like, what are those note combinations? Fucking technical as shit. Dreaming Neon Black, you had like a variety where like you were able, like, even if Warrel's lyrics weren't there, the music that was composed throughout the entire album, I think you'd still be able to feel the entire album. And then Dead Heart comes out, and it's just with no better terminology to word it, it's more like Ozfest. It's like an Ozfest band where it's focusing on, okay, what kind of weird timings can I go chug a chug a chug a chug a chug? It's like, I get it. Yeah, it's good in instances, and then he eventually perfected it with I, Voyager. But it just sounds too... Look, I like Static X. I like some of the new metal bands, but the best way I can describe it is it's appealing for the radio MTVX crowd that loves the dunga 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 dung 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 gent.
So what you're telling me is they should have changed the name of the band to Nevermore to Greater.
That's fucking good.
I've been sitting on that for 30 seconds and I had to blurt it out.
That's really good.
Motor Grader, Nevermore. It's what came to mind.
I have to say, I'm impressed.
Fuck off, you're impressed. We've known each other for 20 years, cocksucker.
No, look. I'm saying that because you need to know. Look, you need to know one of the greatest. You need to know the greatest band who ever existed and the worst band who ever existed at the same time. They have to crash right here for that joke, and it's perfection. That was very.
There's
good.
your answer, Fishbulb.
There you go.
Wow, I didn't know that it was that fucking low. Holy shit. All right, well, number 6 is going to surprise you.
So that's why.
Okay. Number 6 is going to surprise you. In Memory.
Okay.
To be clear, this is only getting number 6 because it's not an LP, it's an EP. If it was longer with songs of this caliber, it would be top 4 for sure, maybe top 3. Great Bauhaus covers. This started the practice of Nevermore covering several bands and making those covers very much their own, with some being almost unrecognizable. I'm looking at you, Love Bites and Sound of Silence, but in a good way. So, number 6 for you.
Self-titled.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, Hurting Words is my number 3 favorite Nevermore song of all time. Love it. The fact that Bearzon reposted his cover of it actually gives me hope that maybe he could talk. Maybe he could talk Jeff into playing it. That would be incredible.
I will say that his performance may have been better than Warrel's.
No. I'm going to say no. Because
I mean, it's not night and day, but there's just there was some feeling in his that I didn't get from Warrel's.
There's one line. Sometimes I feel like drowning.
Oh, yeah, okay.
When Warrel sings that, like, it feels like he's drowning.
Yep. No,
you feel that line.
It's the quieter parts, the more melodic parts where Bearzon is just fucking killing it. But yeah, that sometimes I feel like drowning. Yeah, Warrel did that in such a way. No, like, you're 100% right there.
I love the lyrics. That was the song that I bid on the most to get the lyric sheet, and I got outbid. So, like, look,
those are it's where is it on my list? It's okay, it's number 3 on my list. The lyrics are really fucking like biting. Like, he really feels true remorse that he said something really terrible to someone and he can't take it back.
Like that's what separates to me pre-Dead Heart and post-Dead Heart, because everything leading up to Dead Heart, like you felt the lyrics, like you felt them. Meanwhile, afterwards, it felt like he tried to be more poetic instead of what he felt.
Well, it's not fair to say, and it's not fair to say this. If Jeff hears this, he's going to take it as a slight, and I'm not trying to slight him at all.
Not at all.
But I've always said that pre-Dead Heart was the Warrel and Jeff show.
Yeah.
Post-Dead Heart was the Jeff show.
I would disagree. I'm going to disagree. It was always the Warrel and Jeff show until it felt like with Obsidian Conspiracy. It was the Warrel and Jeff show until Steve Smythe showed up, and then Steve got to throw his couple of cents in there. But then it became Warrel and Jeff until...
But it became more about Shredfest, is what I mean by that. Warrel still had a very profound part of the band, but it became much more about Jeff's guitar prowess and his ability to play very fast, very technical things without lending itself to where those riffs and stuff may fit in with Warrel's lyrics that didn't always keep on the same track as that.
I wouldn't say that about Dead Heart. Look, I dislike Dead Heart in a Dead World. There's no.
I'm saying Dead Heart is the last album to where Warrel
before it changed.
Yeah, Dead Heart's the last album where Warrel could keep up.
Okay,
And I don't mean that in a talent thing, because I mean that in terms of, can you really have really profound, really heartfelt lyrics over that's what I mean by that.
All right, so I rank Enemies so high because that felt like a recovery from what Dead Heart was.
Okay, so where is Enemies at? Is Enemies number 6?
I believe so. Like my list is all fucked up. So
okay, so I said In Memory is my number 6.
Okay,
and that's where we're at now. I was waiting on your number 6.
Oh, all right. So I went from.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You said Nevermore was your number 6. You said self-titled. I'm sorry. Yep.
Yeah.
You said self-titled because you were talking about hurting words, and then we went off on how the lyrics to that were really profound. My mistake. You already said it. Okay. Yep. So my number 5 is the self-titled. And I said, great album, but suffers from the production of not being as crisp as some of the others. And I started saying this earlier, and then I cut myself off because there were things in it that I didn't want to say yet. I said, if Sneap were to do a remix or remaster of this album, I think it would put it on par with the sound of Dead Heart, but I think it might notch out Dead Heart for me. But without that, I'm going to put Dead Heart just above it in my favorites. Very excited to hopefully see if Possibilities live with Burzin, as he did great on the audition video.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear any songs that he'll sing. I'm sure he'll do great.
All right. So you're number 5.
Enemies.
Okay.
I enjoy the songs more than you do, because they showed promise from what Dead Heart gave us. It felt more like an older Nevermore album than Dead Heart did, because it went back to more riffage.
And the thing is with that album is that was kind of the album that they were trying to just turn and burn and get out on their Century Media contract before they renegotiated or went to a new label. So that was the album that they really put the least amount of work into. I think even Warrel said that the songs were kind of disjointed, but they were all very angry.
And that's why Kelly Gray did the production, because it was cheaper than going with an Andy Sneap.
Oh yeah, they gave them like a $10,000 or $20,000 production budget for the whole album, and Kelly was so much. Yeah, and Kelly was apparently the only person they could find that would work that cheaply that quickly.
Yeah.
Good old fucking oven mitts. Oh, I hate it.
Yeah, Century Media really fucked the shit out of them.
And that's always been my biggest complaint with my Nevermore never got bigger, because Century Media didn't know what to do with them. They didn't realize what they had, and they didn't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
My number 4. I'm not going to be nearly as hard on this album as Will, but it does mark a very specific turn with the band. Dead Heart in a Dead World. It became much more of the Jeff Loomis show with the inclusion of 7-string guitars. This isn't a bad thing. It's just different from the songwriting that came before it. This album has many fanboys, but it is not God tier. It's good. It's great in spots, but it is not Dreaming Neon Black.
Fair. Like, there's like lyrically, other than Dreaming Neon Black, I feel like it's lyrically Warrel's best work for Dead Heart.
There are great lyrics on that album.
Yeah. Other than They Took Away My Friend. Beyond that, it's, we're not ranking each line of each lyric here, but,
So what's your number 4 then?
This Godless Endeavor.
Oh, all right.
That's where the wrench gets thrown in.
Oh, yeah, big time. Wow.
I mean, it's great. It's great. But like I mentioned earlier, I alluded to it. There's before Dead Heart and post Dead Heart. Like there's a split there.
Yeah, so but that album's the wrench that's thrown in that equation.
It does bring it back to thrashier, but it doesn't overpower how I feel about the prior releases.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
My number 3, Politics. This is the one where they came in and blew the fucking doors off. It's not a perfect album front to back, but it's way more so than its full-length predecessor with their debut, and has some of the strongest songs of the entire discography on it. At one point, I believe I was told that Warrel had a degree in AI, or at least studied it in college, according to Jim, if I remember correctly. This really plays into the learning later on Sentient 6.
Sure.
So I'm going to guess if Godless is
Yeah,
number 4. I'm going to
I
guess
think
your
you're
number
gonna tell.
3 is probably In Memory.
Yep, it's awesome.
Well,
Cover to cover, everything's great.
it is, and the only reason it didn't rank higher with me is because there's not more songs on it. If there was more songs on it, it'd be top 3 easy.
Okay, that's fair because it is my number 3. That's fair.
All right,
And I think at this point, it's easy to figure out what my number 2 is, and it was in my pants earlier today.
So my number 2 is Godless Endeavor. Such a great album. Band was firing on all cylinders here, and the addition of Steve Smythe to the lineup and some writing credits was a great move. James Murphy with the great solo on Holocaust of Thought, Future Uncertain, much better than World Reborn.
They are similar though.
Yeah. That was my thoughts on the album. I thought that it was a perfect album, or as perfect of an album as you're going to get post Dreamy Neon Black. Godless Endeavor and Sentient Six and Future Uncertain. I mean, those are 3 of the greatest songs of the entire discography by far.
And look, it was nice to hear James Murphy on a recording. It had been a while. And the reason why it was so low on my list is it felt out of place. That's all. It didn't feel like part of the album. It just felt like, I mean, I don't mean to disparage or recite a forbidden phrase that you mentioned earlier is the Jeff Show.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, James Murphy was on there, but it wasn't.
Well, he did one solo. Steve Smythe was on the album.
Yeah, but it didn't belong. Why is it there?
I suppose that's fair.
I like it. Look, I like it. I'm not complaining about it. But
only his nailing ability.
In terms of like having the album flow, it's like, all right, sure. Yeah, let me go get a beer.
So as we discussed, Dreamy Neon Black's both are our number 1 for the many reasons that we have discussed. So yeah, we've gone 3 hours and 45 minutes. This is a long fucking love letter to this band. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add or anything at all?
I think that's about it. I mean, we mentioned about like 28 hours ago into this fucking thing that we were skeptical about a Nevermore reunion because of no Warrel, but Bearzon.
That's where I was going to take us in this last little bit.
Yeah, it makes sense for that being where we kind of end it because that's where we are as fans of the band. We don't really know how it's going to be, but from the audition videos that have been posted and the rehearsal and interview video that was posted unexpectedly with them actually like rehearsing everything in the same room, I'm looking forward to it, man. Even new material, I'm excited. I'm not as trepidatious as I thought I'd be hearing Nevermore with a new singer because I know that Jeff and Van are going to be fucking awesome. And I'm excited to hear.
I have no reason to believe that Jeff or Van will allow their legacy to be tarnished.
Not at all.
When and I kind of touched on this earlier, but I didn't fully commit to everything that I said with it. So, Milton said, "Hey, I think you need to give this guy a chance. They're going to release some stuff." And then they did. Ola put that rehearsal video out. And I will say I was very skeptical, maybe the first 5 to 10 minutes of the video. Person didn't sound great, but it was because he was so low in the mix and it was being recorded live off of room audio as opposed to off of a board or something or another. You couldn't really hear it. Even
then, comparing it to how Warrel sounded in his last couple of tours, it was an improvement. So
right. But then when they kind of had some more isolated stuff where you could hear his vocals better, and then especially with the audition tracks that have been getting released every Thursday, and you and I like frantically going through his YouTube page for the next 24 to 48 hours since that happened. I mean, him doing a cover of Judas Priest's Blood Red Skies, like I had goosebumps at fucking 10:30 at night. I'm sitting on the couch upstairs trying to go to bed. And I can't because I keep seeing, oh, fuck, I got to look at this before I go to bed. Oh, fuck, I got to look at this. And like, I sent him a message and I was like, my God, like you are perfect for this. You know,
I never thought that that we would see a day where we could say, hey, this guy could replace Warrel Dane in Nevermore. That's the craziest fucking sentence on the history of planet Earth.
and
But here we are.
I think that carries more weight with us because we weren't just fans of the band. We were friends of Warrel. Like, Warrel would call me at 3 o'clock in the morning to talk about some movie that he just saw at the theater because I ran a movie theater. You know, every time they were in town, we would hang out. You with them, me with them, you and I together with them in Atlanta. I mean, like, we were friends with these guys. I could call Warrel anytime I wanted, and if he wasn't busy, he'd answer.
Dude, Warrel would call me at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I got work in the morning. I'd be like, I gotta go.
But yeah, we're at a point where they're back, and it doesn't feel weird saying it. Like,
I'm fine with
it. The addition of Jack and Samir and Burzin to this, it's like, okay. I mean, I'm bummed the fuck out that Jim's not there. I'll say it, you know, but there are circumstances that have led to that, and those aren't going to be relitigated. It is the life that we find ourselves in now. You know, Jim is mostly happily retired, living in Alaska with Priscilla, and they're you know, doing well. He's doing better than I've ever seen him do in the time that I've known him. I'm super fucking proud of him.
Those last couple of tours, he was having so many health problems that it was tough for him to be out there, and he'd have to get substitutes. And now he's living the best life he can in beautiful Alaska with a wife. Come on, man. Like, Jim Shepard won.
Yeah, it's like, you know, was there some animosity and some sourness that he wasn't asked about being able to partake in this, or at least asked for his blessing of it and such? Sure. And I 100% understand why he feels that way. And I 100% understand from the other side of things why they didn't ask. Like, there's still some wounds there that I don't know will ever be patched up. They don't hate each other, but you know, that they are in their respective lives where I think they need to be right now.
Like look, at Warrel's memorial, it was, I mean, we knew that Jim was going to be there because we stayed at his fucking house, but it was great to see Jeff.
Yeah. And Van.
Well, Van wasn't there. Van couldn't make it.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. I'm thinking of seeing him at Prague Power later. I'm like, I've hung out with Van since then, but no, it's Prague Power. Yeah, no. And to see Jeff there, in the way that he was, where there were no bad words said, there was it was all like, hey, we didn't 100% become best friends again and all of that, but we made our peace. Like, there was no hatred in the end. We had worked through most things.
The amount of good times that they had building up everything that they did and all the fun that they had. Yeah, it sucks that they drifted apart, but like, that's what happens to like almost everybody.
I akin Warrel and Jeff to being a couple that loved each other immensely, got divorced because something happened. They hated the fuck out of each other. And then they realized later on, hey, you know what? We were both the issue. We both grown as people. We're not going to get remarried, but hey, I fucking love you and I'd do anything for you.
And look, as fans, the fact that we got those 4 dudes together on as many albums as we did is a stroke of luck. And everybody needs to listen to the music that they put out. And if you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't, look.
If you and I can be enthusiastic about it, literally anyone else can.
You should listen to the music, listen to the lyrics, and just be excited that one of the greatest musical partnerships in the history of heavy metal is back together, at least with the fucking main songwriters, Jeff and Van. Like without those 2 guys, you won't have the building blocks of the songs that are going to work. It's going to be great.
And I would also like to go well out of my way right now to say that there has been a ton of talk on this episode of our love for Jeff and our love for Warrel and their ability to be able to write together and write for the band. But that band at that time would not have been that band at that time without Jim fucking Shepard laying down some of the greatest fucking bass lines ever in being the rock fucking solid bottom end of that band. and Van Williams, who is not the most technical drummer on the planet. There are drummers that are more technical. You will not find a drummer on the planet anywhere that plays with more groove and more feeling with the heaviest of heavy songs than Van Williams.
Dude,
and people need to recognize that.
Van Williams has my favorite cymbal work of all the drummers. It's like, yeah, fucking Gene Hoglan, whatever, Richard Christie, fine. But no, dude, Van is one of the greatest heavy metal drummers of all time.
Agreed.
And his work with Ashes of Aries, the Ghost Ship Octavius is great. And obviously we're all excited for Nevermore, but please, like, check out the other shit, all these, listen to Jeff's solo work, listen to Van's other bands. Jim Shepard has some music out there that he self-released, and he has some paintings that you should check out.
It hasn't really been self-released. I mean, it kind of has a little bit, but he is working on getting some more stuff out. I'm not going to go into detail, but he is working on some stuff. He's very motivated.
Yeah, there's a couple of things out there floating around,
but just
support everyone.
Just realize that this Nevermore, regardless of what happens with it, if new music comes, if new music doesn't come, and I have all reason to believe that new music's coming, this Nevermore is better than no Nevermore, and I'm going to say it's substantially better than no new Nevermore.
Absolutely. It gives me some new music that'll be released that I'm excited for. I don't get excited about new music anymore, man.
I do, but it's not. It's rare-ish.
Yeah.
But just to circle back slightly, you were talking about like Gene Hoglan and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Gene and Randy Black and fucking Richard Christie and this guy and that guy. They're all very technical, very like fucking. I mean, Gene's the atomic clock for a reason. Like they're fucking drum machines. Van's not that, and Van would not be nearly as good as he is if he was that, because he brings in just this feeling and just like when Van's playing, it's Van. Like he adds something to it that I don't think anyone else could.
Like he's great at the double kick drum work as any good metal drummer should be, but like somehow he makes his kicks fucking groovy.
Yes,
you're like,
that's what I'm saying. Like he's got the groove and the feeling that so many other super technically proficient, and not to say that Van's not technically proficient, like he's not fucking things up. He's just not. He's not Neil Peart, but
sure,
who is whereas.
Mike
you can
find, or so he thinks.
Yeah, you can find all these drummers that they're fucking drum machines, but they're all fucking interchangeable. Van Williams is not interchangeable.
No,
so
he is as important of a piece of the Nevermore puzzle as any of the guys in the band.
1,000,000,000%, and that's the point that I'm making.
If Jim Shepard was not in Nevermore when they recorded Dreaming Neon Black, I don't know how that album would sound. He's sick.
There's a reason I called his bass playing out on that album when we were talking about it. Like,
exactly.
It's so good. And if Nevermore reformed with just Jeff, he could surround himself with all the greatest guys in the world, and I would be very hesitant. But the fact that he's got Van there with him, I think this is going to be really good. So on that, it looks like Will is frozen up just a little bit again. I'm going to give him a second to be able to come back, and then we're going to finally get out of here because we're right at the 4-hour mark, just give or take slightly. So, yeah. You there? Nope. No there. No more Will. No more Will to record. He sees the world fade. No more hope inside. This recording means nothing anyway. Just shades of gray. And there he goes. Bye, Will. Bye-bye. So yeah. I really appreciate everyone tuning into this. I know that it's super long. Hopefully you'll watch it in stages and not commit 4 hours of your valuable time to this all in one go. That would really suck. But yeah, we've had a blast. I know I've had a blast. I know he's had a blast. So thank you very much. And until next time, peace.